Sorry, guys. I just missed out on the first minute. There's no score so far. So it's inside the Essendon forward line at the moment. Tom Stewart has the ball. Tackled well from Ben Hobbs. And it'll be a stoppage. Sorry. Alright. There we go. So Bombers inside their forward 50 early. Sniped across the body from Guelphy, and that's the first score of the game. Noah went out on the full. So free kick will go to Tom Stewart in the back pocket. He goes in short, works to Guthrie. It looks like he's going to switch the player for Geelong. So GMHBA Stadium, Essendon have not played many games down in Geelong. So a very interesting game for them tonight. In Geelong, this is a big game for both clubs. A lot of teams winning over the weekend who are fighting for those top 8 spot. Obviously, Carlton won today against Port Adelaide in a massive upset. So that brings another club into the talks now, considering Carlton are actually equal 8th spot right now, just out of the top 8 by percentage on Geelong. So back in the ruck, knocks it down there was Brian. Gets down to Dangerfield. Good tackle there from Durham. He gets the hands free there, Dangerfield, but he takes it out of bounds. So a couple of stoppages to start off this one. Obviously, Geelong came off a pretty easy win last week against North Melbourne. Essendon having a big win over the Crows. So both teams in really good form. Another stoppage here on the wing. Blitzars gets it down. Comes out the front to Holmes. He gets a little click. He gets the kick forward towards forward 50 in front. Nice mark there from Ridley. Big talk about Ridley last week. Obviously thought the worst when he went down with that injury to his knee. Everyone thought it was an ACL. I thought so too, watching it live. But it turns out it was just a huge bone bruise. He nearly cut off there in back 50 there, but marked by Laverde. He works it down the wing, 2-on-1 here. Guthrie goes up, causes a contest against Wiedemann. Langford tackled well there by the Cats, and it'll be another stoppage. Outer wing here, GMHBA Stadium. Big crowd for the seats that are available. Obviously, the left-hand side of the ground is full of construction, but on the other side of the ground, it's full. Oh, trying to get off the ground there was Merritt. Couldn't gather it. Good hands to get it out there. Hobbs to Perkins, who gets a kick inside the middle of the ground. It's a dangerous one. Turned over. Holmes takes the mark. He's got Durham on the mark. He plays on, though. Works a good 30-metre ball. Finds Isaac Smith. He's about 2 good kicks away from goal. He just works it in short to Duncan, who works a short ball into the pocket. Not the best kick. Hawkins couldn't get there, then scooped it, but it's out of bounds. So stoppage now inside the Geelong forward 50. Jeremy Cameron back in the team tonight for the Cats. Just rub that forward. There we go. Umpire throws it in. Hawkins taking the ruck roll here. Gets a tap down straight to Durham, who fumbles though. Then tackled from behind by Close, then dropped it. Could have been in trouble, wasn't. Merritt just taps it along. Guelphy can't gather it either. Durham tries to sock it off the ground, but smothered. Now Collar Jasny works it out wide, finds Smith. Back to Guthrie. He's got a couple of options. He goes long towards the top of the goal square. Gary Rowan and Cameron with the options. Couldn't get there. Redmond, dangerous handball. Myers breaks past one. Can he kick the first of the night? Brian Myers kicks the goal. Just signed a new deal with the club. He kicks the first one for the Cats. Great finish from Brian Myers. And the Cats get the first. Was looking to give off the hands, Myers, but didn't have any options, so he thought he'd go himself. Highest goal assist player of the season so far in the comp. He's been brilliant being able to get it off to his teammates, work them into the game, and he gets his own little bit of love there to start off the game. Great start for the Cats. Yeah, Mason Redmond just made a big mistake there. He handballed it straight to a player who was immediately under pressure, didn't get off good hands, and then missed tackle. Causes his first goal of the match. Went it down Brian. Off the ground there was Merritt. Gets a ball about 20 metres forward. Good spoil away there from Stewart. Oh, nearly dove under the legs there was Merritt. Just got a kick away there was Smith. Now O'Connor gets tackled immediately by Heppel on the ground. Heppel, that was a throw. Wasn't paid. I don't know about that one. Perkins to Parrish. Now Hobbs turns into a bit of trouble and turns out of it. Sends a ball out into the wing. Great mark there from Henry. This is Jack Henry, who immediately goes inside. Stanley. He's got a play riding shotgun in Bose. He kicks it towards forward 50. Good kick. He finds Jeremy Cameron back in the team on the lead. Bit far out to score. Probably on the run, I'd give him a bit of a chance, but Jeremy Cameron, about good 55, 60 out. Calls for players to lead. He works it on the outer side of the 50. Up goes Rowan. 1-2. Nearly grabbed it. Hit the ground. Blitzards gives it up back to Isaac Smith, who sets it up to the top of the goal square once again. Held the arm there if Kelly wasn't paid. Now Zerk Thatcher kicks it out of defensive 50. So much pressure on the Bombers early. Duncan taps it out wide to Smith, who's been good early. To back to Duncan, out wide to Henry. Tries to turn Brian and does nicely. Runs around on the boundary line and kicks it back inside the forward 50. Dangerfield 1-on-1. Good work there from Perkins to knock it away. Holmes out to Stengel, who was big last week. Feigned the kick, then works around. Kicks towards goal. Tyson Stengel nails it. Great start for the Cats. They've got the first two. Kicked 5 goals last week against the Kangas. And he gets a big goal there, Tyson Stengel. Good start there for the Cats. They've got too early. Four and a half minutes of game time gone past. Cats got 2 goals. Bombers yet to score. Hardly had it upside there. Forward half so far. This is the Tyson Stengel of last year. Just working around trying to get that little bit of space to work into. Always been a good finisher. Great goal there for the Cats. So back in the middle. Stanley wins it down. Atkins been brilliant so far in the past month. Wins it to O'Connor, who couldn't gather it though. Tackled well there from the Bombers. It'll be another stoppage. So Brian nearly gets a little tap down. Parrish gets a socket out of his hands by his teammate. O'Connor gets the clearance forward. Bounces, couldn't gather it there. Well done there from Redmond. He read it well. Rowan trying to gather it. Did want to tap it back under him, but then Redmond soccers it to his advantage. He couldn't gather it. Cameron gets the hands free to Blitzards. Back to Rowan. He kicks it around the body. Free man inside the forward 50 is Myers. It just got the terrible bounce. Still has the ball in possession, sort of. Taps it back to Hawkins, who gets the ball to boot. Free man inside the forward 50 was Henry with a great tackle. Almost threw that one there was Myers, and the Bombers get away with one there. So now Martin, terrible handball. Handball it to the feet of Benzie, and now snapped across the body here, top of the goal square for the Cats. 2 players get there. Zerk Thatcher just thumps it away. Couldn't find the points, and then a turnover from Durham, cut off there from Holmes, who gives it off to Jeremy Cameron. He's going to get dragged down by Peter Wright. Just gets the hands free. Bombers got to lift a little bit here. Merritt just gets the ball to boot, kicks it towards the boundary line. It will get over, and I think the umpire's going to call deliberate. He won't. Oh. Big call there, but Jeremy Cameron's coming off the ground with blood streaming from the head and a little bit of a limp up. Definitely didn't see that coming. He got a head knock against Redmond and then got tackled from behind from Peter Wright. So a couple of little welcome back to footballs there to Jeremy Cameron. Durham gets tackled well there from close, just gets the ball away. Atkins can't get free. Hobbs fell on top of it. He'll get a ball up though. So Jeremy Cameron grabbing at the knee at the moment. I think it was just a bit of a stinger. Probably a contact injury. Probably best case scenario at the moment. Blitzards wins it down. Coming through was Durham. Can't pick it up though. Merritt gets the ball to boot. He's always been under pressure early in this one. The ball trickles down the wing. Stringer just left it behind at the crucial stage. Kolajewski couldn't gather it either. Atkins to Bruin. Back to Atkins. Just out of the reach of him. He can't grab it. Wiedemann to Merritt. Oh, terrible handball there from Merritt. Went over the top of Hobbs and it'll be a boundary throw-in once again. True centre wing on the boundary, on the commentary side. Merritt's had a few touches early, but the Bombers just can't find any space at the moment. Looks like Mark O'Connor's gone to Merritt as a tagging role tonight. By far the best player for the Bombers this season is Zach Merritt. He's been brilliant as the new captain. Hobbs gets the clearance forward. Great pick up there from Menzie. Handballs it inside to Caldwell, who's been in some good form. Atkins, good tackle. Just gets the hands free. Kelly couldn't gather it. Blitzards gets tackled well, though, from Kelly. Held the arm and couldn't get it away there. Blitzards, another stoppage inside the middle of the GMHBA stadium. Free kick's been given away here from Mark O'Connor. And it's going to be a free kick to Zach Merritt. So umpires on that one early. Hit just behind the ball there was Zach Merritt. And he gets the free kick. He works it out wide to Jay Kelly, who's get met by Stengel. And it's a free kick downfield. Will go to the Bombers, I think. Or it'll come back. No, so it's a free kick for pushing the back against Tyson Stengel. So So Geelong's pressure's been brilliant early, just giving away a couple of free kicks here to give the Bombers a bit of a chance. So now Kelly drives it inside the forward 50, 2-on-2 there. Right, gets up, couldn't mark it. On the ground was Atkins to Stewart, who handballs the ball on the bounce to Myers. Now Smith has a little bit of space to work on the outer wing. He drives it back inside with a brilliant kick. Finds Paddy Dangerfield. So the Bombers working back pretty well at the moment to mark some space. There's a player working inside the forward 50 for the Cats all on his own. He's still on his own at the moment. Henry couldn't mark it. On the ground was Isaac Smith. Picked it up brilliantly. He's done this his whole career. Just couldn't snap the goal there. Goes through for a behind. Cats are really on tonight early. Bombers have not looked like scoring in this one early. Coming out of defence, another turnover. Atkins takes the mark. Moves around quickly. Top of the 50 is Myers, who takes the mark. He's feeling the ball early. Works it inside with a low ball. But a great mark there from Heppel to get back. So now Heppel goes in short to find Durham. Bombers just need to take a little bit of sting out of this one. The movement from the Cats has been lethal early. Working it down the wing. Great work from Blitzars. Got it out of Wright's grasp and now gives it off to Bruin. He works it inside the forward 50. Top of the goal square. Zerk Thatcher should mark and does. It's 12 minutes still to go in this first quarter, so 8 minutes of playing time. Cats lead by 13. It had been brilliant early. Zerk Thatcher works it wide. He finds Ridley. Got a big strapping around the knee. Cats have only had the 8 inside 50s, but it feels a lot more than that so far. Works a long ball down the wing. Stewart just bodies Wiedemann under it. That was brilliant. Been doing that for all of his AFL career so far. Stewart called to play on now, though. Wiedemann needs to find some form, or he could be finding himself in the VFL. Long kick. Henry should have marked. On the ground was Myers. Gives it off to Close. A chance here for the Cats. Third of the quarter. Great finish from Brad Close. And that's another assist for Brian Myers. Having a brilliant season, these Cats small forwards, especially in the past month. Close nails the goal. And the Bombers under siege early in this one. Jeremy Cameron back on the field now, so he's all good to go. Ollie Henry's all on his own inside the forward 50. Heppel just let him go at it. He should have really marked it, but nonetheless, Close all on his own. Crumb that very nicely. Brian Myers gave it straight off the Close, and the Cats got 3. So back in the middle, Peter Wright's been injected into the middle of the ground, knocks it down to Perkins, immediately met by Bruin, dragged him to ground, another stoppage. So 11 minutes to go on this first term. Up goes the ball. Wright knocks it down. Gets out the back. Parrish just gets the hands free. Coming through with Durham. Handballs it back inside. That's dangerous. And now Atkins cuts it off. The Cats can get it inside forward 50 again. The kick across the body. Trickles inside the forward 50. Great tap on from Hawkins. Works it outside there. Myers. Cameron, if he gathers, he's all the way home. And he snaps for goal and misses a sitter there, Jeremy Cameron. Should have snapped that one there. Jeremy Cameron just missed it. He probably just didn't realise he had that much space. Another kick outside of defensive 50 was poor from the Bombers. Cut off nicely. Dangerfield works it in short and finds Brad Close. He can get his second here, Brad Close. This is a brilliant start from the Cats. They just can't get it outside the defensive 50 at the moment, the Bombers. And another turnover. Another chance here for the Bombers to get another. Dangerfield's kick was not the best, but it worked well. So a chance here for the Cats to get a brilliant start to this one. 4 goals if he kicks it. Straight in front, 30 metres out. Brad Close comes in, kicks towards goal, and he nails it. Cats are on a huge start so far. Well, this is an annihilation early. Holy shit. So at the moment, leading disposal getter on the ground is Isaac Smith and Zach Merritt, both with the 7 touches. And Brad Close leads the goal kickers with the 2 straight. Well, at the moment, the live ladder reads that the Cats obviously have a massive lead, get up to 5th spot if they win tonight. Bombers fall back to the pack, though, if they lose. So back in the middle. Stanley wins it down. Coming through was Dangerfield, just left it behind. Now Perkins finally gets a clearance here for the Bombers. He works it forward, but of course, who else but Tom Stewart on that intercept mark? Works in short to Bruin. In fact, it's Duncan who works it out wide. The Cats can go here. I think it's Bose. He works it out on the wing. Long kick towards forward. 52 on 2. Working up was Rowan. 1-2. Just couldn't gather it on the third grab. Now works it short there. From Guelphy to Laverde. Works the ball long. And 2 on 1. Easy work there for the Cats. Team not doing so hot at the start. Yeah, the Bombers have not started well there, Damien. He works a long ball inside the forward 50. And Dangerfield all on his own takes the mark. Well, the Bombers yet to wake up so far in this one. I think the commentary just mentioned it a little bit earlier. I think it was Joe Watson. This is very similar to the game against the Swans they had earlier in the year, where they dominated them by 94 points. They just dominated from start to finish. And this game looking pretty ominous early. So Patrick Dangerfield had a couple of injury concerns this year. Always struggled a little bit with the goal kicking, but he comes in now and makes it home. 5-goal start for the Cats. They are on fire. Gets his first there, Paddy Dangerfield, and this is not looking good early here for the Bombers. Still heaps of time in this first quarter. There's still 8.5 minutes to go. Bombers have hardly touched the ball in the past 10 minutes. I'd like to actually see if they bring that up on the stats. But so Mason Redmond currently being checked on by the doctors for a possible concussion. Merritt works it off to Perkins, who gets another clearance here for the Bombers. Long ball just to get inside the forward 50. Wiedemann couldn't mark. On the ground now is Guthrie, who gets met by Menzies. He's going to be pinholing the ball. Just got ball to boot somehow. Snelling coming through, probably got a high one, and he gets the free kick. So a chance here for the Bombers to finally get one. Snelling about 55 out from goal. Won't make the distance. I would definitely not assume that. So now Snelling, who was around on the right, drives a long ball, top of the goal square, 2-on-1. Brian just gets a spoiled there from Stanley. Working there was Martin. Couldn't get it away. Stanley handballs it out of pressure, but not for long. Merritt snaps towards goal, and that's the first score for the Bombers. Only a minor. Zach Merritt, who else would have got the first score other than him? So now Guthrie gets the kicking duties for the Cats. Works the ball just inside the centre square. Up goes Dangerfield. Great mark. Plays on, goes long out wide, good kick, finds Holmes, who takes it on the second grab, wheels around immediately and goes inside. That was poor there from Kelly, should have tried to cut that off. Cameron works inside, not the best kick on the bounce though. Blitzards, great pickup, works it into the pocket, should have gone himself probably. Rowan couldn't gather it, great pressure from Laverde. Heppel to Ridley, back to Heppel, who's immediately met by Blitzards, he's gone. That was play on against Stengel, wasn't it? No, it wasn't paid, probably should have been, but Blitzards will get the free kick in the pocket. The Bombers are under siege at the moment. So now in the forward pocket, not the easiest side for a right footer, but it still looks like Blitzar's going to go around on the unpreferred left. 20 metres out. Toughish angle. Blitzar's comes in, snaps around the body, straight through the middle. Cats have 6 in a row to start off Saturday Night Football. Oh, geez. This is not looking good. This is actually very similar to the game they had earlier on in the year, these two, because the Cats started off 38 to something. They started off with the first 6 goals, I think, of that game too. The other games just started between the Crows and the GWS. 6 minutes into the first quarter, Crows lead 7-0 over there at Adelaide Oval. Back in the middle, Brian wins it down, coming through as Hobbs. Should have got the kick away, couldn't though. Now Perkins just fumbled though. Now Dangerfield gets it off out the back, finds Atkins, who drives a high ball towards forward 50. One-on-one there was Henry, couldn't mark. Durham out the back. Holmes worries him out of it, then sockers it forward. Breaks past Rowan, he gathers his own kick there was Holmes. Handball was too hot for Hawkins. Coming through there was Blitzars, probably got a high one. Wasn't paid, it'll be another stoppage. Just inside the forward 50 for the Cats once again. Beckham, obviously happy about the Cats start, but knocks it down there. Hobbs tries to get the clearance out of there. Just rolls about 20 metres towards Atkins and Caldwell. Good tackle from Caldwell, worried him out of it. Brian gets the ball to boot. Good gather there from Langford. Did well to have a little calm handball to get a player in space, which was Perkins. Then he just kicks it long. One-on-one. Kolajasny couldn't gather it, but off the spoil, Cameron gathers it. Atkins to Guthrie. Works it out wide, finds Holmes. He's been good so far, Max Holmes. Tried to get a free kick for a 50-minute penalty off Kelly, but he just works it in short. So the Cats about 60 out from goal now. Doesn't have many leading options. So it looks like now he's just going to work it in short. Stengel, great kick, finds Tom Hawkins in the pocket. The Bombers are absolutely under siege, probably praying for the quarter-time siren at the moment. And a chance now for Tom Hawkins to kick his first. This year, he's kicked 33 goals, 12 from set shots. So, of course, as he has been most of his career, Tom Hawkins, he's been very reliable. Hawkins comes in, reaches 50, kicks towards goal. It's going to be close. It just fades late. I think it was through for a point. And they're going to do a score review. It went through for a point anyway. Just pay the point. It went through for a point anyway. Oh, whatever. It's a point. Shocker. Even if it was still in, every player thought it was still a point. So, sorry, it was still in play. So, whatever. So Redmond is back on the ground now because he's taking the kick in for the Bombers. So he's not out with concussion. He longs a long ball outside, out towards the wing. Langford held Henry, be a free kick to the Cats. So Jack Henry had a good start to this one. He works it in short. He has Bruin, who has a shorter option, and Jeremy Cameron, who takes the mark. Hard kick here for Jeremy. But if anyone can, it's him. He's got that sort of right to left sort of work here. It's going to be a hard kick, but the Bombers fans standing behind him are pretty much in shell shock at the moment. He's already kicked 1 point so far, Jeremy Cameron. He's been pretty busy early. He comes in now. Kicks towards goal. Umpire shuffles away to the right-hand side and goes through for a behind. AFL film will look like an umpire's game these days. Miss the hard hitting it used to be. Yeah, I get that, man. Hang on. So Ellie Henry turns around and kicks another one for the Cats. They've got 7 in a row. And this is not looking good for the Bombers at the moment. $46-1 in a demolition job early. So 3.5 minutes to go. There's still a lot of time in this first quarter. Zach Merritt worked it inside, but Langford just couldn't get to it. He just tried to get something going there, Zach Merritt, but it just got cut off once again. And the Redmond spoil was straight back into the goal mouth of the Cats and an easy as you like goal for Ollie Henry. Back in the middle. Stanley wins it down. Coming through is Duncan. Got a tap back to Stanley and then got back the receiving handball. Works it out towards forward 50. Great kick. Finds Brad Close. They're looking for another couple here, the Cats. They want to end this game at the quarter time. He gives it back to Duncan, who kept on working. Works it into the pocket. But great work from Zerk Thatcher. Bombers need to wake the hell up. My God, we're getting smashed right now. Yeah, this is not a good start at all. He works it in short. Finds Redmond. And to be fair, none of the tall forwards in Jeremy Cameron or Hawkins have really worked into it yet. Like, neither of them got a goal. Zerk Thatcher works it in short. He finds Laverde, who takes a bounce. Don't know about that. He hasn't got many options. He just has to handle over the top, make it Heppel's problem. So now Heppel works it in short. Cut off immediately there from Zach Guthrie. He gets it to Myers. Zach Guthrie breaks 40 metres, kicks towards goal, and leaves it out to the right-hand side. That's a huge let-off. Just didn't run at that one there. I think it was Snelling. Redmond works it in short, finds Ridley, who works it in short again to Heppel. This is where it's broken down every single time the Bombers try to break out a defensive 50. Heppel works it over the top with a weird handball to McGrath. Coming through there was Ridley, who ran out of bounds. No, he got a high free kick. So the Bombers trying to find a different way out of defensive 50, trying to run it past the hold that the Cats have over them at the moment. So Ridley gets a free kick. This will be a chance to break past halfway, one at least for them. But again, doesn't have any options, so he just drills a ball in short, finds Hobbs, who worked into some space. Hobbs works it in short, dangerous kick. He was lucky Stewart overran it. Parrish tries to work it forward, but Stanley has some time. Handballs over the top to Holmes, who gets a little tap on there close. Blitzars over the top. Here go the Cats once again. Myers on at halfway, doesn't have many options. Wheels around, finds a little short kick to Close, who can't take the mark. Good pressure there from Redmond. He goes out of bounds. Minute and a half to go in this first term. Bombers are just praying for that quarter time siren. Brad Close not loving his first game back as coach against his brother. He's getting absolutely smashed so far. Blitzars falls down in the ruck. Brian wins it down. Perkins can't gather it. Well done there for Durham to get the ball to boot, but he gets immediately met by Holmes. He sends a high ball towards the 50. A great mark out the back. Oh, he dropped it though, Stengel. He's running back with the flight. Almost took an absolute... Nearly had a mark and broke 50, but then just fumbled it over the line. Geelong, 100%. I think it's... I did ask this before the game started, but nonetheless... bit of a fucking bad start from the Bombers, nonetheless. Hawkins wins it down only as far as Hobbs, who Hawkins plays to the free, and he got it. So Hawkins from outside 50 right now. Still a minute to go in this first term. This would be an 8th goal of the quarter if he's able to nail it. If the Catters don't win it, I'll shave my head on camera. Alright, NC, that's your call though. So Tom Hawkins now to kick the 8th goal of the quarter for the Cats. He's outside 50, reels around on the right boot. He's going to drill it in short! Just trying to find Jeremy Cameron, he couldn't. Myers met by Caldwell, he gets it out somehow. And he's pinholed on the ball. So a free kick to the Bombers inside the defensive 50. So the kick will go to Caldwell, and if I'm not exactly the coach here, but I'm telling him to, I would say, drill this one 50 metres down the other direction, but he's going to switch the play. So Thatcher now. He's got an option in short. It just gets to McGrath. He plays on now. Doesn't have any options, though. Heppel gives him one. with a short little handball, and Heppel works it out the back. They don't have any options, though, the Bombers working forward. He does nicely, though, to find some space now. Long kick up to Guelphy. Gets out the back, though. Guthrie has some space. Sends a high ball towards the wing. 2-on-3. Well done there from the Bombers. Had the numbers. Hobbs works it inside to Brarish. And now Caldwell. They finally have a little bit of space here, the Bombers, with 2 seconds to go in the quarter. They're not going to have time, unfortunately. Redmond worked as the dome, but the siren goes. And at quarter time, this has been an absolute demolition job from the Cats early. The scores are 7-5, 47 to the Cats. And the Bombers only with the one score, which is one behind. Oh, that was... Oh, that hurt. I'm not even a Bombers fan, but fuck. Alright, just bring up the statistics now, guys. No one cares if you have a Google Pixel. Fuck off. Fuck off, mate. Alright, so we got that one. And then we've got... Alright guys, so quarter time, leading disposal getter on the ground is Max Holmes, probably been best on the ground at the moment. Then we have Zach Merritt with the 10, Mason Redmond with the 9, Myers with the 8, and then Hobbs with the 8 as well, rounding out the top 5. And then for the AFL Fantasy watchers out there, we have Max Holmes on the 40, leading all comers, Jack Henry with the 39 along with Brad Close, and then 34 to Mason Redmond and Zach Merritt round out the top 5. And in the other game, by the way, guys, let me quickly check. Oh, for fuck's sake. Crows versus GWS. I'm clicking on it. Hurry up. 13 all early in the midway through the first quarter. Current leaders on that one. All single goal kickers are Taylor Walker, Rory Laird, Jesse Hogan, and Callum Brown. Obviously, Callum Brown and Jesse Hogan are for the Giants. Laird and Walker are for the Crows. And leading disposal grounded on the ground in that game is Rory Laird with the 6 touches. Maybe I should have streamed that game, eh? But nonetheless, Caddis should smash the Bombers for me. You'd think so, wouldn't you? But, I mean, when it happened against the Bombers earlier in the year when they did this, they smashed them in the first quarter. But the Bombers are able to just hold that 30, 40 point lead for the rest of the game. So, yeah. I mean, I don't see the... I mean, look, we've seen teams come back from this margin because it's so early, but I don't know about that. That was a dominant start. Lift that noble band. I don't know. Yeah. Well, the guys in the chat have said the poll, who wins tonight? Geelong is 62%, Essendon are 38%. I'm sorry to the people who are Essendon fans here who have tipped the Bombers, but I am very doubtful at this point. Alright, guys. So second quarter about to get underway. Players moving back to positions now. I'm not going to lie. If I was the Bombers, I'd almost be pulling the sub out soon. Nick Hines, the sub for the Bombers, and the Cats is Oisin Mullen. I think it is Mullen. It's probably Mullen. I don't know why I said Mullen. But yeah, at this stage, I'd probably, if I was the Bombers, I'd be seriously considering putting in my sub because this has been a horror start. Looks like they're going to start their big trio in the midfield. Well, two of their three anyway. Merritt and Parrish both stand in the middle to start off the second quarter. Nick Bryan needs to seriously lift in the middle as well. I know he's a young guy, but he's been dominated early by Blitzars and Stanley. So obviously they're out tonight, Phillips and Draper. So two big losses for the Bombers, but that's not really an excuse at the moment. Bombers need a massive lift to start the second quarter. Umpire's ready to bounce the ball, and down it goes. Starts the second quarter here. Stanley wins it down. Coming through there was Parrish. Just gets the hands free. Finds Perkins. He can't gather it, though. 1-2. Eventually soccers it off the ground, making someone else's problem. Stewart coming across. Couldn't gather it. Martin soccers it off the ground towards the boundary line. It'll be another stoppage. Nick Martin hardly been seen early in this one. Been brilliant for the Bombers in the past 2 months at least. Being talked about a lot as a potential wingman on the All-Australian squad. But he's hardly been seen so far. It's really been Zach Merritt is the only one who's stood tall so far. Stanley punches it towards the boundary line, and they'll do it once again. So it looks like Atkins has gone to Merritt in this second quarter. Throws it in. Stanley wins it down. Coming through was Parrish. Again, fumbled though. Dives in there was Dangerfield. Trying to get the ball out. Eventually gets the hands free. Atkins can't gather it. Perkins does well to get the hands free and handballs it forward about 20 metres, but can't win it too far. So Duncan thumps the ball towards the wing. Hawkins can't gather it on the bounce. Zerk Thatcher doesn't have the football. Doesn't get a free. Play on. Now the Bombers have some space. Martin from Durham. Back to Martin, but the kick's poor. Cut off by Guthrie. There was a big chance there for the Bombers to work it forward, but Martin's kick was really poor. Coming up there was close, couldn't mark it. He just thumps it forward, does well. Holmes works it across to Myers. He's going to get met here by Laverde, and he did well, Laverde. That's good from the Bombers. Now Martin has some space to work into, works it down towards about a 30-metre ball, finds Caldwell. He plays on, doesn't have many options though, so just gives it off to McGrath. And now the Bombers can work this one forward. Langford across the body on the left, trying to get to Stringer. Worked hard, couldn't gather it. Bruin works it to Henry, does nicely. Now Kolajasny, Stewart. They're always calm in their situation, the Cats. Now Bruin thumps it out of the defensive 50. Great body from Laverde. Gets it off, finds Redmond. Snelling has a little bit of space to work into. Works it in short, finds McGrath. So you can already see, watching this game, the Bombers have started a lot better in the second term. McGrath sets it up inside the forward 50. Up goes Bryan. Couldn't mark it to Koning. Bad handball. Immediately met was Henry by right. It'll be a stoppage inside the forward 50 of the Bombers. And I can't remember the last time the Bombers actually had a chance to lock it inside here. 20 inside 50-7 currently the count. I'm surprised there's not more. Thrown out of that one was Bryan. Probably got a bit unlucky there. Bruin immediately met by Parrish. Dragged to ground. Another stoppage. So a chance here for the Bombers to finally get a goal on the board. They've finally got it locked inside their forward 50. Bryan wins it down. Coming through as Merritt couldn't gather it. Well done there from Durham to get the hands free. Just handballs it forward. Met there was Wiedemann. Dragged down. Should have been pinned for it. Play on. Durham working hard. Got the hands free. Stringer has a little bit of space. Doesn't have anyone to handball it to. Eventually finds Martin, who fumbles. Then snaps on goal. Absolute floater is going close. And spoiled through for a behind. Martin just fumbled there. If he didn't fumble that little split second, he probably wouldn't have felt as under pressure. He could have snapped that a lot more cleanly. Bombers have a little bit more space in the second term, which I think was always going to happen. I don't think the Cats could keep up that absolute huge intensity that they started this game with. But now Holmes on half back. He kicks a long ball down the commentary side wing. Packer players form. Thumped away there was Bryan, but gathers it on the bounce there was Henry. He just thumps the ball towards 50. Well done there from Myers. Has a lot of pace. Tries to break back. Got the hands free. Couldn't get to Hawkins. He tries to gather it. Great pick up from Tom. He works it inside the forward 50 with a great kick. and finds Ollie Henry all on his own. That was great work from Hawkins just to pick up that football so cleanly. And now Henry a chance here to get the Bombers' 8th goal of the game so far. Bro is a literal commentator, 100%, man. I'm the best in the world. I wouldn't say that, but I just find it a little bit boring if I was just sitting here saying a few things and then not doing anything. Henry comes around on the right boot, wheels it around, and just sneaks through for a point. I mean, wouldn't it just be boring if I was sitting here going, yeah, kick the ball forward. Yeah, cool. That'd be boring in my opinion. So I feel like I should say talk the game through. Like, you know, why would you watch me if you could watch the game, really? That's what my thinking is. At least if I'm commentating the game, you'll have a reason to listen at least. Free kick's been pulled out here. We'll go to the Bombers. It'll be Brian who gets the free kick. He played on though, and I don't know why. He's going to get beat up by the Cats. That was a weird decision. He thumps it inside. Duncan cuts it off. He didn't mark it, so I don't know what he's doing. And then he sends a weird little torpy towards the middle of the ground. He finds Holmes, who finds on forward 50th Henry, who gives it off to Myers. He has a few metres of space and kicks towards goal. Fades late. Another behind for the Cats. Well, Myers, one of the few times in his probably this season where he hasn't actually looked for a pass when he's breaking 50, and he did miss. So now the Bombers can get out of the defensive 50 here. Parrish works the ball out wide. He finds Durham on the slide. Works with a long ball down the wing. Wiedemann needs to work hard. Can't get it on the ground. Stringer handballs it forward. Immediately turned it over. Henry sends a long ball towards the forward 50. Can't mark it with Durham. Great work from Laverde. He's done okay so far. Parrish out wide finds Kelly, who works it in short. He finds Merritt. He plays on now. Merritt has a bit of space to work into. Sends the ball towards 50. Right coming through. Can't mark it. Did well to cause a contest. Bruin ducks out of pressure. Out wide to Jack Henry again. He's been brilliant so far. Works the ball into the wing. Kick is poor though. So now McGrath on the wing. Gary Rowan's being met by the Medico on the wing, on the boundary line right now. Works a long ball inside the forward 50. Up goes Murray. Can't bring it down. Hobbs dribbles it towards goal. Free kick's been pulled out. Stringer on the ground. Dribbles it through for a goal. And they're going to call advantage. The Bombers finally get there first. Courtesy of Jake Stringer. He got a free kick there, Ben Hobbs. But the play on call was made. And Jake Stringer sockers it through. Bombers looking a lot better in this second term so far. I think it's probably there, but anyway. So in the other game right now, Giants lead by 1 point at the moment. Late stages of the first term, 22-21 over the Crows. In 250th game for Rory Laird, 200th game for Lockie Whitfield. I know it's Rory Laird's 250th because I live in South Australia and I have to listen to the radio every day at work, and they mention it about 50 times a day that it's Rory Laird's 250th game. So I'm pretty sure that's tonight's game. But I'm not exactly 100%, but I think I'll call it. I'm making a safe bet here. Nonetheless, umpire thumps it down. Brian gets the tap forward, not very far though. Blitzars gets it off to Dangerfield. He gets the clearance forward here for the Cats. It breaks just towards 50. Henry been good in this second term. Ollie Henry cut off well there from Durham, who tries to break past Isaac Smith, gets the handball forward. Great work from O'Connor. Cameron gathers it, working backwards though. Eventually snaps it over the left shoulder. Stengel picks it up well, gives it off to Duncan. Can't get rid of it. Brian on the ground did well. We'll take the stoppage here. Just about 30 metres out, straight in front of the Cats' goal. If you just joined us, Cats kicked the first 7 goals of this game. Bombers got the last one early in this second term. In the ruck, Hawkins takes it out of there. Tries to get the hands free. All on his own is Isaac Smith. And he's missed. Didn't have a right boot, Isaac Smith. I guess it hasn't really hurt him for the first 300-odd games he's played, but that was a real chance there for the Bombers, the Cats. We've missed a couple of chances early in the second term. Should have nailed that, though. Holy shit. So Redmond will take the kick in here for the Bombers. Drives a long ball towards the wing. Pack of players form up. Goes Peter Wright. Crashes the contest. Couldn't win it on the ground, though, the Bombers. Holmes to Blitzars. Close. Works it back To O'Connor, back to Holmes, who kept on running. Sends a high ball towards the 50. Dangerfield in a one-on-one, wasn't paid. Play on. Little soccer away there was Henry. Smith. Dangerfield drops it at the crucial stage, looking for a free kick, didn't get it. Now the Bombers break free. Brian gives it back to Durham, who gives it back to Martin. Have some space here, the Bombers. He works a long kick, Martin. That was probably a push in the back against Wiedemann. Play onto the call. He can't gather it on the ground, though. Just been out of form, Wiedemann. Great work there from Stewart. Feigned the handle, then worked it back inside. He finds Isaac Smith, who's been had a few touches in this last few minutes. Drives a long ball to a one-on-one. Tom Hawkins, great mark. Just too strong for Zerk Thatcher. And going back with the flight takes the mark. Obviously took on Zerk Thatcher back in round 6, I believe, against the Cats. And kicked 8 goals on him. Hasn't kicked one tonight, though, Tom. Chance here straight in front. Should nail this one. He comes in. Drills it home. Cats have got their 8th. And the Cats get one back. Quarter time in the other game, Crows led it by 5 points against the Giants. Currently leading disposal getter on the ground right now is Max Holmes with the 16, and the current leading goal kicker is still Brad Close with the 2 goals that he got in the first term. So now the Cats get it forward once again. Ridley gathers it well, handballs it over the top, finds Peter Wright, who just works the ball in short. Probably got to push in the back, wasn't paid. Martin works it in towards Hobbs, back to Martin, back to Hobbs. Both deciding to give it back to the other one, and then Hobbs kicks it on the full. Again, the Bombers just had a chance there to work that forward, but just couldn't. Jeremy Cameron, I think, was hit behind the play there, and he's bleeding outside the nose right now. It was it was Jordan Ridley who accidentally hit him in the face. So it was just an accidental contact. As we saw from Dane Rampy's hit on Thursday night, they'll probably be at least, I'm thinking, 3 weeks. Yes, I'm a bit biased. I'm a Swadden supporter, but fuck me, that was ridiculous. Anyway. So Tanner Bruin comes back on the ground for Jeremy Cameron, who's getting taken off by the dock right now. He's just bleeding out of the nose. He's bleeding twice, I think, so far. He had one out of the top of the forehead. And now he's got one on the nose. So 48 points the difference. 1 goal each in the second term. Wright wins it down. Coming through was Hobbs. Couldn't gather it. Now Dangerfield fumbles. Still working. Still in front of it here. Falls on top of it and happy to see it out of bounds. So now Blitzars wins it down. Coming through there was Durham. Did well. Has a little bit of space to work into now, the Bombers. Menzie, back to Durham. They keep on going through hands here, the Bombers. He works it out wide. He finds Stringer. Comes off the side of his boot towards the top of the goal square. Bo's going back. Probably should have got a free kick. Wasn't paid. Snapped through for a goal. Was called well, but the free kick was in fact paid. So the Cats get away with one there. Sort of. It was definitely a free kick to Bo's. I don't know why. I don't know why I thought it wasn't, but I guess I can't really hear it as well. Nonetheless, in short, he finds Isaac Smith, who's getting a lot of touches early in this second term. Happy to take a deep breath here, Smith. Obviously, a little bit more aging, liking to take a little bit of a deeper breath here. Sends a long ball out to the commentary side wing. Coming across there was Heppel. Thumps it over the line. Still 11.5 minutes to go in the second term. Bombers looked a lot better in the second quarter, but the Cats still have a 48-point lead to the Bombers' detriment at this stage. Throws it in. Takes it out of the ruck there was Blitzars. Happy to get a long clearance here. Thumps it towards 50. 2-on-2 is there. At the back is Tom Hawkins. He has Rowan running shotgun. Free kick's been ripped out here, and it's going to go to the Bombers. Laverde gets the free kick. Yeah, sorry, I have this on a little bit low, so I don't it's combating me. But anyway. Kolodjasny does well to work right under the ball. Bruin tries to break away. Just got the hands free. Kolodjasny works it all forward. Myers, little over the top kick with 20 metres up and 20 metres forward. Didn't really work though. Great work there from the Bombers with the hands. Hobbs trying to find a good option. He's running around in circles right now, but eventually finds Heppel, who snaps the ball over his shoulder. Coming across. Great mark there from Perkins. I think it's one of their first contested marks of the game so far for the Bombers. But again, doesn't have many options going forward here. So he's just going to work a long ball towards the forward 50. Wiedemann to the hope. Up he goes. Brings it down towards Blitzars. He's got so much space to work into. Handballs it over Holmes. Great little step. He then works inside. Kicks a long ball. Not the best option. Laverde cuts it off. So now the Bombers want to switch it. Laverde makes his teammate work for it in Cirque Thatcher, but does take the mark. So they're going to switch it here, the Bombers. Kelly, in fact. Works it short. Now Martin. Again, they're just stopped in their tracks here, the Bombers, once again. Great zoning defense here from the Cats. They got no option other than just to bomb it long. High ball. 2-on-1 here in the Bombers' favour. Great work from Koning. On the ground was Duncan. Ducked. Didn't get a free kick. Great tackle there from the Bombers. And that's what they need to do. If they're not going to mark the ball with these long kicks, they have to work it in the ground and then cause a stoppage. So back in the stoppage play. Wright wins it down. Parrish. He gets there eventually. Fumbled again though. Isaac Smith worried him out of it. To Koning. Works it forward. Couldn't get rid of it there close. Eventually goes to Bruin. And a free kick's going to be paid against Redmond here. On the full. Just landed on his boot. So now Bruin. In short. Smith. He's got an option inside. It's a dangerous kick though. Great read there from Martin to cut it off. Great pressure though from Bowes. Myers to O'Connor. Cut off well from Heppel. He works it over. Hobbs misses it again. They've fumbled a few times, the Bombers, tonight. Now Atkins works the ball underground towards Duncan. Always cool and calm. Works it short to Stewart. In the middle of GMHBA Stadium, Stewart works it in short. Finds Blitzars. They've got a lot of options inside the forward 50 of the Cats. All one-on-ones. Blitzars happy to hold it up for a moment. Then wheels a weird ball towards Dangerfield. Did well to cause a contest. On the ground, Parrish. Works it to Redmond. Fumbled again, though. Heppel to Hobbs. Didn't look. Just kicks it down the ground. I don't know if he meant that, but it got to Wiedemann in the end. So Wiedemann in the middle of the GMHBA Stadium has no options. He was the last forward in the line. So now he plays on, though. Kicks it in short. That's a terrible kick from Wiedemann. Bowes cuts it off. Couldn't get rid of it. Couldn't get to a Geelong player, though. Martin to Perkins, who then kicks it to Wiedemann, who just thumps it inside the forward 50, but cut off well from De Koning. They're getting a lot of ball here, the Bombers, in the past 10 minutes, but they're just not kicking. They still feel like they're under so much pressure, even though the pressure has definitely dropped off from the Cats in the second term. So now Jack Henry thumps a long ball down the wing. Up goes Laverde, couldn't mark it. Kelly on the ground, gives it off to Merritt. Been a bit quieter in the second term. Right to Laverde again. He thumps a long ball inside the forward 50. It's a one-on-one here for Langford. He did well to cause a contest. Hits the ground. To Koning. Handballs it out of bounds. And it'll be a stoppage. And Laverde's on the ground at the moment. And he's not looking the best at all. So Laverde right now jumped across his legs there, Gary Rowan. And it looks like it may be some sort of a leg injury here for Jaden Laverde. And Zach Merritt looked immediately across as it happened. Oh, the leg, yeah. Not looking good. He's got it off the ground now, but he can't even put any sort of weight on that right leg. This could be an early substitution here for the Bombers. And Laverde, who's been very good in the second term, this is a big loss for the Bombers. So Gary Rowan actually obviously had that huge leg injury, 5 or 10 years ago, or a long time ago now against North Melbourne when Lindsay Thomas dove over his leg, and he was out of the game for a good year or two. So he's putting a little bit of weight on it now just to test it out a bit, but he's wincing very hard. Nick Hind is getting warmed up on the bench. Brian wins it down. Blitzars trying to gather it, tackled well from Hobbs. Good work there from Brian to get it out. Merritt may have got a high one, not paid. Guthrie sends a high ball towards Dangerfield, who couldn't gather it. Perkins can't get a kick free. Hobbs can't get a ball free. He gets a free kick. Play onto the call. Merritt works it in short. Play onto the call. Wright couldn't gather. Now Bowes works it out wide to Bruin, who couldn't gather it. Works hard, though, back onto it. Brilliant play from Tanner Bruin. Handballs it back to Kolodjasny. Great pressure there from Martin. Gets a little smother onto it. Now Guthrie, met well from Guelphy, gets the hands free. Kolajasny working it forward. Sock it off the ground, it's on the full. So finally the Bombers showing a little bit more pressure on the Cats. Still only the one goal in this game to show for it so far, but Menzies has the football just to the forward side of the wing. 7 minutes to go in the second term. Bombers would love a couple more working into half-time. Sends a long ball, gets out the back, but Henry's there. Gives it off to Dangerfield. Met well from Merritt, gets the ball away. Hawkins works it in short, finds Myers. Oh, he played on and then left the ball behind. Hobbs tackled well from Myers, though. Oh, Ben Hobbs got pinned holding the ball for no genuine attempt. I kind of agree with that, but also not much of an effort, not much of a time to get rid of it. But nonetheless, free kick was ripped out. Free kick to the Cats. They work it out wide, finds Bowes. Works it inside, finds O'Connor now. So the Cats definitely haven't met the pressure that they did in the first term, but they haven't really had to. The Bombers really haven't taken their opportunities going forward. Now O'Connor thumps a long ball towards the pocket. Hawkins in a one-on-one! Great mark. Crows currently lead by the 10 points over the Giants early second quarter, 33-23 right now. Great mark from Tom Hawkins. Always going to have the big body over Zerk Thatcher. Takes the mark. So Tom Hawkins already got one. He got that about 10 minutes ago. Straight in front, 20 metres out. This is a little bit more of a difficult one. Can Tom Hawkins meet it? It comes in, reaches 50, kicks towards goal. It's going to hold that right goal post and eventually fade. Goes through for a behind. So Snelling now at half-back. He went to go give it to Redmond, then thought better of it. He works it over the top, finds Ridley, who handballs it back to Redmond. Immediately under pressure of the Bombers. Redmond kicks it on the full. They just worked themselves under pressure, the Bombers there. That was a really weird decision from Snelling. He either had to go long or had to just give it to Redmond straight away. You can't just wait on that and then give a forward handball to someone like Ridley who was standing still. Really weird option. So now Duncan works the ball long. 3-on-1 here as Gary, it was Blitzars, couldn't mark. Now off the long kick here from Perkins. Nearly cut off there from Duncan. Went back with the flight, couldn't mark it. De Koning. Met well there from Guelphy, who handballs it forward 20 metres to space. Bruin working back, great pick-up. Gives it off to Guthrie, who sends a long ball back inside the forward 50 here for the Cats. Working hard was Dangerfield. Ridley just pushed him under it. Then left it behind. Then Dangerfield couldn't gather it. Tackled well, gets the handball forward, but it comes off of Brian out of bounds. Deliberate. Was it, or was it a throw? Free kick's been paid against the Cats nonetheless. And now Dangerfield grabbing at his knee. Oh no, that is a throw. That is a throw. Great decision from the umpire. So they work it back towards McGrath, but again, he's just going to have no options working to switch it. So he's going to have to go back from where it came from. Sends a long ball out wide to find Brian. It's a great kick there from McGrath. Mate, the only player who could get to that ball was Brian. Then he works a short ball, terrible kick. Blitzars cuts it off. Merritt coming through, did nicely to get the hands away. Guelphy to Snelling. And a free kick's going to go to Zach Merritt. So the Bombers getting a couple of lucky ones here from the umpires. Merritt works it in short, finds Martin. Again, they're just flat-footed every time they get a ball inside here, the Bombers. They've got to work it forward. Martin has no options, though. So he just runs around a little bit and then eventually works the ball towards 50. 2-on-2, he was right. Did well to Koning to knock it out of bounds. So just under 4 minutes to go in the second term. One goal each in the second quarter. Obviously, Cats blitzed the Bombers early in this game. Both teams probably even now, but the first quarters really was the fuse for this game so far. Throws it back in now. Stanley gets it at the back. Coming through was Martin, then dropped it, then tried to get a boot to ball, couldn't. Atkins thumps the ball down the wing. Going down there was Henry, couldn't mark it. That was Ollie Henry. Now Kelly works it out the back to Heppel. Heppel handballs it inside, very dangerous. Coming through was Caldwell. Dragged down from Myers. He'd probably be pinned here. And he wasn't. Don't know about that. That should have been a free kick. He had a hands free there, Caldwell. But nonetheless, umpire will throw this one up. 3.5 minutes to go. Punch down there, Stanley. Thumps it forward 20 metres from the ruck. Rowan steps back inside. Great work. And the ball inside was brilliant as well. He gives it straight off to Holmes, who breaks about 60, kicks it inside the forward 50. Kick was poor though. Went over the top of his teammate. Coming through was Ollie Henry. Couldn't reach it. Well done there from Redmond. Great pickup. Ball outside was not the best, but Menzies calls a good contest, stumps it out of bounds. So Laverde just walking on the bench right now, not looking the greatest. Trying to get a little bit of a jog up. He's okay, but he's not the best either. So now throws it back in the umpire. Brian and Stanley. Brian wins it down. Guelphy gets the clearance forward. Went well on the wing was... Fuck, had a brain fade there. Couldn't mark it there, was right, but nonetheless now Holmes works the ball long inside the forward 50. Hawkins couldn't mark it. Gets out the back. Brad Close gives it off to Stengel. Chance for his second. Great finish from the Cats. Out the back stuff there from the Geelong. Not going to be a very hard night for the Bombers tonight. Small forwards are all over them at the moment. He's got 2. Tyson Stengel. 25 minutes gone in this first half. Cats lead it by 54 points. Oh, actually 55 points, I believe. 55 points, sorry. Ugh. Leading disposal getter on the ground right now is Max Holmes with a 19. Leading for the Cats, and the leading disposal getter on the ground for the Bombers is Mason Redmond with the 16. Oh god, I have to go to the bathroom, fuck. I don't think I'm going to be missing much, but also... How long to go? Fucking bring up the time. Fucking hell, I gotta go take a piss. Fuck me. Brian wins it down. Coming through was Bruin. Couldn't get rid of it. Now, Perkins gets tackled well from Atkins. Brian tries to sock it off the ground. Should be under the legs against Bruin. Wasn't paid. Tackled well there. Snelling from Holmes. Great work there from the Bombers to worry him out of it. Menzies handballs it forward 20 metres. Tries to get back onto it himself. Right dives down. Can't gather it. Now Menzies breaks 50. Sockers it off the ground 20 metres. Sockers it into the pocket. And the umpire calls the ball in. I tipped Carlton. Oh, good job there, Cuzzafant. Yeah, I'm not... I mean, to be fair, I'm not exactly 100% surprised because... I mean, the Port were obviously going to lose eventually. And I think Carlton... Well, now I think they're definitely finding some form. I was a little bit sceptical because they've beaten 3 pretty easy teams, but that was a good win against Port Adelaide. Atkins gets it out of defensive 50. It'll probably be coming back, though, because Durham working back on it got a terrible bounce. Now, Smith works it inside. It's going to get to Holmes eventually on the bounce. He's got Myers over the top. He gets it off to him eventually. Myers has a lot of space to work into. Went to go kick it, then decided not to. Works it inside. Great work from McGrath to get back. Now the Bombers can work out a defensive 50. Kick over the top, finds Langford. Langford over the top to Perkins. Oh, God, I gotta go to the bathroom. Come on, hurry up, Perkins. Kick the fucking ball. Fucking hell. Perkins works it forward towards 50. 1-on-1 there. 2-on-2 it was. In fact, Brian couldn't mark it. On the ground, Caldwell gets the handball free. Now Peter Wright snaps on goal, and the Bombers have got their second. Great finish from Peter Wright. Bombers have got 2. Well, maybe that will be giving some hope going into halftime. Bombers get a late one. I'm going to go to the bathroom before I piss myself, guys. I'll be back in a minute. Works it out wide. Perkins. Long ball towards the wing. Coming through was Menzies. Tries to thump it forward, but couldn't. Yeah, it was a point to the Cats. .21 seconds to go in this first half. Bombers have been blitzed, but they did get the last goal. Throws it back in now. Brian tries to get the hands to it. Couldn't get to though. Works out the back. Now Heppel thumps it forward. Big chance here. Can't mark it. Langford gets the handball out wide to Wiedemann. Wiedemann's foot couldn't get to it. Menzies out the back. Chance here for the Bombers for a late one. They've got it. Well, back-to-back goals for the Bombers. Give them a chance. Give them a bit of hope going into half-time. Great finish from the Bombers. And maybe a breath of life has been given to them courtesy of that goal from Jai Menzies. Great work just to work it forward. Wiedemann got the worst contact on that kick he could have got imaginable. But Menzies trickles it home. And a chance here for the Bombers maybe to get a little bit of confidence on that one going into halftime. You said Port. Yeah, I tip Port as well, man. I'm just not that surprised because I thought Port Adelaide eventually would lose. I thought maybe it'd be the Collingwood game, but I guess maybe Port Adelaide wanted to lose this one because in a couple of weeks they don't want to have that keep on winning mentality. I don't know, maybe I'm just making an excuse. But nonetheless, only a few more seconds to go in this first half. Umpire thumps it down. Stanley gets a little tap. But the siren blows, and that is half-time. Scores are 9-10, 64 to the Cats. Lead the Bombers 3-2-20. Bombers got the last 2 goals of the first half, but nonetheless, the Cats have been dominant in the first half of this one. I'll bring up the statistics now, guys, and then we'll go to halftime. Alright guys, so at halftime, leading disposal getter on the ground is Max Holmes. He's probably been best on ground in my opinion so far. He's been really good with the 21. Mason Redden with the 16 leads all comers for the Bombers with disposals. Then we have 15 to Myers and Isaac Smith, and then 14 to Zach Merritt rounds out the top 5. And then for the AFL Fantasy Watchers out there, we have Max Holmes with the 72, Isaac Smith with the 62, Jack Henry with the 59, Brian Myers with the 56, and then rounding out the top 5 is Tom Hawkins with the 54. Alright guys, we'll be back in about 15 minutes with the second half. G'day guys, and welcome back to the Boundary Riders podcast. Today we're up to episode 19 and just completed round 17 of the AFL season. Really getting towards the end of the season now, and a lot of teams are shaping up to get into that top 8. We saw the Crows lose against Essendon, and Essendon firm up their spot in the 8. We saw Port Adelaide get back to equal top with Collingwood as well. We saw Richmond give themselves a chance to make the finals, along with Carlton as well, which have came out of nowhere in the past couple of weeks. But, of course, today we'll be going over the normal stuff, the review and the votes of round 17, the tips for round 18, go over some AFL fantasy stuff as we usually do. As you can see again, my co-host, my brother, Jackpot Junkies, isn't here with us again. That's okay. He's got work, and that's obviously way more important than this. But we also did a video that came out today as I'm recording, so yesterday as the podcast comes out, of some new trade rumours. So if you guys want to check that out, it's just on the channel right now, so just click around and you'll be able to find it. But that was a really interesting video, and he's involved in that one, so if you miss him, if you miss his voice, then he'll be on that. But today we'll go through the podcast, and the one thing I wanted to talk about before we get into the week that was, it's a little bit of a story that's been floating around as of late, which are the fake injury lists. Now, I don't know if a lot of people are knowing about this, but there's been a lot of news circulating, especially with Clayton Oliver and stuff, that a few clubs are faking their injury lists. and are not being truthful. Now, I'm not too sure if they're doing it because of other teams being able to see it, or if it's to try and just keep things under wraps, maybe from members. I don't know if that's a thing. But yeah, I saw this post on Twitter, so, you know, I'm pretty brave here going on Twitter for you guys. But there's a few people talking about how Clayton Oliver won't be back till, you know, the end of the season, even if that. Like, his hamstring is in that bad a shape. There's a video... the tweet in question was from the Trade Whisperer, so I don't know how reputable this person is, but nonetheless, he did put down that if you've seen the video that he has seen, you wouldn't be expecting a certain injured midfielder to be returning anytime soon. We're dealing with an unprecedented level of deception from the clubs in 2023, and the fans are the ones getting treated like fools. So he's basically indicating towards Clayton Oliver, saying that he won't be coming back anytime soon. And there is a little bit of truth to this, because one player in particular that's been going on for quite a while now is a player for Essendon named James Stewart. Now, this is all allegations, and I'm not saying that this is 100% true, but James Stewart is one player for Essendon who has been on their injury list for over, 3 years. 3 years now. Yeah. He has not played a game since 2020 at the Bombers, and there's been no big news as to why he's been on the injury list or why he hasn't been playing. Because, I mean, from my recollection, he hasn't done an ACL, he hasn't done anything massive. He's still on the injury list at this stage, and it currently says on the injury list that he's off with a foot/personal reasons. And it says that he's going to be back in 2 weeks. But for something that's, like, pretty big news, not many people are talking about the fact that he's been out for so long. There's really been no news about it. I did see a TikTok from someone, I can't remember who it was, but they were talking about how he's been on the injury list for a very long time. And there's really been no news as to why he has been injured for so long. Because, you know, when we see a player get an ACL injury, even if it's just not like a big known player, like, for example, when Sydney, Alex Johnson, for example, not a big name, but you did used to hear every now and then, like, how long, because he was on the injury list for so long, like, why he's been on there. And it's been very interesting that they've been almost radio silent, Essendon, on why James Stewart has been on the injury list for this amount of time. I mean, for a guy who is a pretty talented player when he was playing, to have not played a single AFL game or a VFL game, I believe, since 2020, that is a massive amount of time. Like, I mean, if he was out of form or he wasn't playing that well, like, surely they would have delisted him. So it's very strange about that sort of thing. And if you guys have any sort of news about the injury list and that sort of stuff, feel free to let me know. But at this stage, a lot of AFL clubs somewhat are lying to the supporters if they're not telling them the outright truth. I think if they did want to keep it under wraps, I think that's fair enough. But at least come out and say, like, from now on, this AFL club isn't going to be revealing their injury lists, or aren't going to be telling us the length of them. Because also another club that does it is Geelong. For quite a while, they weren't revealing how long players are out. They're actually saying, like, it's a small. They were just saying short term, medium term, or long term on their injury list. And I think the AFL kind of got a caught onto that and kind of told them to stop that. But it's very interesting that, especially this year, a lot of clubs are being very sheepish about their injury lists. And I just thought it would be an interesting topic to talk about today. But considering we've got some other stuff to talk about, I think that's all we've got really to say. With no one really to talk to, it's kind of hard to just ramble on for a few moments. So what we'll do now is we'll get into the week that was, and we'll get into the weekly votes. Now, as we do every single week, we go through the 3-2-1 votes of every single game for the round. And at the end of the season, we will be doing a live countdown of the votes, as like the AFL do with the Brownlow. But as I say every week, this is way more important because we're making it. But nonetheless, this is also not exactly 100% a midfielder's award. I mean, of course, it can be, like if they are the best on the ground. But if a forward has a big day or a defender has a massive day back in defence, they'll obviously be getting represented in this votes as well. So I feel like it is a little bit more of a player's award. It's like overall, I think anyone could have a chance. But, you know, at the end of the day, the midfielders do get a lot more of the spotlight because they get a lot more of the touches and stuff. And I mean, that's just kind of fair enough at this stage. But nonetheless, we got to the first game of round 17, Richmond versus Sydney. And actually, I don't know if you can see in the background, but I'm sure you guys know that I'm a Swan supporter. Very disappointing second half from Sydney. I was very disappointed to see it. I thought that we were going to come out and give ourselves a real chance to push towards the finals, and we showed no fight, no nothing. I do think the Nankervis hit was very dirty. I think that did change the game. And the thing is, he's only going to get 3 weeks, maybe 4, because of the goal he hit. But I think the AFL should be stamping this out immediately. For a player to run past the ball and hit someone in the head, he went for it pretty much. I mean, that was a deliberate hit. It's not like he was trying to go for the football. That was a dirty play from Toby Nankervis, and he should be getting weeks for that. He should be getting more than 4 or 5 weeks. If they want to be serious, the AFL, I know that they gave Degoe 4, but if they should be making a stand. Players are doing this now. We need to make a massive stand. Give him 6 weeks. Give him 2 finals to think about it, because that was a dirty look. That was terrible for the AFL, and no one wants to be known for that. And I can't believe that Andrew McWalter was more than happy to say that's how he plays. Yeah, bro. We want him to run around and just elbow bastards in the head. Come on, that was shit. But anyway, 3-2-1 votes. In the votes in this game, I gave 3 votes to Errol Goulden, 2 votes to Shea Bolton, and the 1 vote to Jack Ross. Now, Errol Goulden was brilliant on the wing once again. I'm a little bit surprised that a lot of teams aren't tending to tag him at this stage. I guess the tag is kind of out of fashion at this moment, especially for a team like Richmond. But he was very, very good in the first half, and I think he was probably Sydney's best in the second half as well. 2 votes gave to Shea Bolton. He was brilliant, especially going into the second half. He arguably brought them back into it and set up a couple of late goals as well. He still needs to work on his goal kicking. I believe that his goal kicking is definitely his downfall a lot, but he's definitely played well in that one, and he was very close to the 3 votes. And the 1 vote I actually gave to the sub in this game, which was Jack Ross. Obviously, Jack Ross. Obviously, he did come on very early because of the injury to the kid in Jack Bauer, and that really sucked. But when Ross came onto the ground, especially in the first half, he was one of the few players who actually performed well for Richmond, and he kicked a couple of goals that they really needed in this match. And I actually, he played some really good footy, came on as a sub. A lot of the commentary was actually mentioning maybe he was playing as he felt hard done by to have been left out of the 22. And I think there's definitely something to that, because he definitely lifted his side over the line, I think, in the first half and got them back into the game. And then, the quality players like Shea Bolton, Dustin Martin, Toby Nankervis was brilliant as well in the second half as well. And, I think he was definitely the catalyst to start that off. After that, we get to Western Bulldogs versus Collingwood on Friday night. The Bulldogs, again, they are incredibly disappointing. I remember saying at the start of the year that this is a do-or-die year for the Bulldogs. They should be making top 4 with the list that they have, and now they're teetering on the 8. And they are just such a teasing team. I think the biggest teasers in the competition. And again, they couldn't perform in the big stage. They had a good start against Collingwood, but again, they got a bunch of goals kicked against them, which is their downfall since the 2021 Grand Final. And look, against a quality team like Collingwood, you got to perform, and they didn't. But nonetheless, nothing taken away from Collingwood. They were brilliant in this game, led by the Dacos brothers. They were brilliant. Nick Dacos is just hitting new heights in the past fortnight to last month or so, playing through the middle of the ground, which I didn't really think he could do, but he's doing brilliant in there. And, that brings us to the votes. 3 votes went to Nick Dacos, 2 votes went to Isaac Quaynor, and the 1 vote went to Josh Dacos. Now, Nick Dacos, like I said, was brilliant in that game. He pretty much sewed those up pretty easily for me. But Isaac Quaynor was pretty close. He was brilliant in this game, had a lot of intercept possessions, intercept marks. Actually took more than Darcy Moore, I believe, and was just overall really good in defence. And he is definitely in All-Australian form as a small defender this year, Isaac Quaynor. He's been brilliant back there, locking down small forwards, and he's just a great defender. And I think Craig McRae would love to have him in this side. I bet you he's one of the first picked. And the 1 vote went to Josh Dacos. He was brilliant as well. He's just been overshadowed by his brother this year. But if it wasn't for Nick Dacos, I'd arguably be saying he'd be definitely talked about as one of the best players in the comp. He's definitely one of the best wingmen in the comp, but he's definitely one of the best players at Collingwood, if not the competition, right now. Next up, we get to Brisbane versus West Coast. And look, I'm not going to talk too much about this one because we know what happened. Brisbane won again. They won by 80 points. And let's be honest, they probably left a few goals out there. They kicked 16 goals, 20. They should have won this game by 100 points. Arguably could have got more points than Sydney did if they kicked a lot straighter. And West Coast, what is that? They had 1 good game against St Kilda and they couldn't perform again. Not really surprised by that. Let's just get to the votes. 3 votes gave to Jack Dunstan, 2 votes to Lachie Neale, and the 1 vote to Hugh McCluggage. Jack Dunstan, after his little pre-season that he had mid-season for the Lions, took himself out of the side for himself. And, I mean, look, it's against the West Coast, so you can't take a lot of knowledge into this, but he kicked 6 goals, and against any team in the AFL, that can always give you a lot of confidence and could be a good catalyst for the rest of the season to get him on and get him going. Lucky Neal got the 2 votes. He was very good again. He's been very good since about, a third way through the season. He's definitely found that form back that he needed to get to. And, he's definitely leading that midfield once again. I wouldn't say he's in that Brownlow form, but he's definitely finding that form that has been... he has kind of left behind this season, earlier in the season. And the 1 vote I gave to Hugh McCluggage. He was very good again. He's been very good in the past few weeks, even though a very weird start to the season, did not play very well at all, when he was really in All-Australian form last year. But unfortunately, they picked Wingman in that team. But yeah, he was very hard done by not make the All-Australian team last season, and he's really been left behind this season in the team. But yeah, he definitely found some form in the past few weeks, and Brisbane, good percentage booster. Helps them keep that top 4 spot pretty well secured at the moment. I don't think they'll lose it now. They've got 3 games on 5th spot, so they should be fine now, the Lions. And I think it's going to be a little bit difficult because they don't seem to win games away from home. So I don't know how that's going to go, but they definitely got it in a pretty secure spot right now. Next, we get to the Giants versus Hawthorn, and the Giants had to gruel this game out, but they won it, and they got 4 wins in a row, and are now right up there with the top 8. That, surprisingly enough, they've done brilliantly in the past pretty much 6 weeks. I think they've won 5 of their past 6 games and last 4 in a row. But they did have to grind this game out against Hawthorn. There was a bit of a chance for Hawthorn to get one late, and who knows, maybe if James Sicily was in this side, they could have been a little bit more secure down back. But one player who was secure down back was Sam Taylor. He was brilliant in this game. He would be making the All-Australian team for the Giants if it wasn't for the fact that he was being injured. But even then, Jack Buckley has been brilliant for the Giants back there with Taylor's absence. And now that they're both back there, they've got to build the team around that. Those 2 pillars in defence are going to be massive. I don't think I've seen a defensive duo, young duo like that in a very long time, and that's going to carry their team for a very long time, the Giants, if they can hold them. But nonetheless, we get to the 3-2-1 votes. 3 votes go to Stephen Coniglio, 2 votes to Sam Taylor, and the 1 vote to Kieran Briggs. Stephen Coniglio was massive in this game, and was only because of how good he was why Sam Taylor didn't get the 3. He kicked 3 goals, had, 29-30 touches. He's finally found that form that he had 5 years ago, just before he got the captaincy. And now that he's playing hard midfield, he's just been insane this year, Stephen Coniglio, and was very good in this one. Sam Taylor, like I mentioned, was brilliant for the Giants in this one. A lot of intercept possessions, as he's just prone to do, just being always in the right spot. And not only that, but he plays against his opponent brilliantly. I don't think I've seen a defender. I think he's arguably the best defender in the competition. Now, that's a big call because, you've got people like Darcy Moore and stuff, and I think he's very good as well, obviously. But I think as a defender overall, I think Sam Taylor is probably a team you can build around. If I was starting up a team right now, Sam Taylor would be up there with one of the first players I would be picking for my side. And the 1 vote I gave to Kieran Briggs. Now, this guy, my brother doesn't like because I picked him in fantasy when he's right down below, and we'll get to that a little bit later about how, fantasy points-wise. But he was brilliant in the midfield, and he's been one of the highest-rated players in the past 6 weeks. And for a ruckman who was in the VFL, 7-8 weeks ago, this guy is playing some insane football in the ruck, and who knows where he would be at the start of if he played at the start of the season, because he has been brilliant for the Giants, and it's been a spot for them that they've really found it hard to fill since Shane Mumford. So I think if Kieran Briggs can lock down that spot, which it seems he can, then I think that's really good, especially for salary cap wise, because he wouldn't be getting paid too much, and they could definitely lose a couple of ruckmen around him that they can build their midfield around a quality ruck. So next game we get to St Kilda versus Melbourne at the Marvel Stadium. Sorry, but nonetheless, at Marvel Stadium. St Kilda just can't win the game, can they? They've just can't attack. They only get 8 goals in this one. They struggled against Melbourne. This was a real chance to beat a team who hasn't been in the best of form, and they just couldn't do it. And I don't know where St Kilda are right now. They're definitely that team that a lot of those bottom 10 teams who are fighting for that top 8 spot would be thinking we can knock them out. that's the team that we can take out this season. And St Kilda would be very, very nervous right now because they are on the knife's edge of missing the 8. But on the other hand, Melbourne were quite good. I don't really know if Melbourne can challenge for the premiership at this stage. They're not playing that well. But they made a couple of different changes this week. Obviously, they did miss out on Bailey Fritsch because he's injured probably till the end of the season, probably till the final series at this stage. So they chucked Christian Petrarca up forward, and he was very good. He got 4 goals straight. And as a player who's been playing predominantly midfield for the majority of the season, for him to sacrifice his game and play a role up forward for the Demons really shows how selfless he is, and something we really haven't seen from Petrarca. And the one thing he did do was convert. But nonetheless, the 3-2-1 votes. 3 votes go to Stephen May, 2 votes to Rowan Marshall, and the 1 vote to Jack Steele. Now, Stephen May was brilliant in defence once again. He was a little bit helped by the fact that Max King went down with 5 seconds in the first quarter. So he was a little bit helped by that. He didn't really have to play on an opponent, but he was brilliant, and St Kilda just couldn't get past him. 2 votes I gave to Rowan Marshall. I think he should be in the talks for the All-Australian in the ruck. I know Tim English has pretty much got that spot locked up right now, but Rowan Marshall was definitely had an unheralded year, and he had 30 touches in this game. And as a ruckman, that is insane. Had a lot of clearances inside 50s. He's just a very good ruckman, and St Kilda are very lucky to have him. If I think some clubs need to start looking at maybe a Rowan Marshall. All right, guys, we're back for the third quarter. Let me get ready. Cool. All right. Can the Bombers bring this back? They hit the last 2 goals of the second term. It's a big comeback for them. Down at GMHBA Stadium, 44-point lead to the Cats at halftime. Umpire bounces it down, and here we go. Wins it down, Brian. First clearance will go to the Bombers, courtesy of Perkins. High ball towards the top of 50. 1-on-1 with Stewart. Probably marked it, and he did. So Stewart plays on, sends the ball along in the middle of the ground. Couldn't grab it. There was Stanley. Close comes through. Good take. Gets it out to Stengel. Now Stengel to Holmes. Back to Stengel. Did well the Cats to get out of that. Then he sends a high ball towards the 50 once again. Redmond goes up. Couldn't bring it down. Duncan did well. Coming through was Parrish. Left it behind. Good tackle on Guthrie. But gets the hands free. Blitzars sends it inside the forward 50 to space. Zerk Thatcher will get there first. Hawkins trailing him. Gets the handball away to Snelling. He steps past Hawkins, who goes to ground. A little bit funny, but I don't know why I thought it was so funny. But Peter Wright takes the mark at half back. So now Peter Wright, half back. Doesn't have many options, so he just sends a long ball towards the wing. 1-on-1, Brian couldn't mark it out. The back's Guelphy. They got some space here, the Bombers. Martin gives it back to Guelphy, back to Martin. Good hands here from the Bombers. They've got a lot of space. They don't have many options though, Martin. So he hooks it back towards the top of the 50. Not the best kick. Holmes couldn't gather it. O'Connor tackled well from Stringer. Gets the hands free though. Stewart back to the last line of defence with Henry. And goes in short to Bose. Sorry. Sorry, McGrath hit him in the head, but nonetheless. He goes in short, finds Stengel at half back. Plays on now, sends a high ball towards the wing. Close takes the mark. He's been good tonight. Brad Close. Has the ball on centre wing. Long ball now towards half forward. Cameron goes up, couldn't mark it. On the ground well. Done there from Durham. Sends a high ball, but it's all Cats back there. Good mark from College Asney. Who works it in short, good kick. The Cats can go here. Running through there was Cameron, who received the handball and dropped the ball. Oh, he's had a bit of an awkward night tonight, Jeremy Cameron, back from the concussion. Play on there from Myers. Cameron wasn't going to take it, though. So now Myers, about 65 out from goal. Obviously, we'll just work this one in short with a lead, with a great kick to Hawkins. Couldn't get the hands up, and he gets the free kick. So it looks like Ridley may have moved to Hawkins on that play at least. And Hawkins a chance here to kick his second. Arm was, it was a bit held there from Hawkins. So Hawkins kicked one tonight. He kicked it in the third term. Kicked it in the second term. He's hit 1 goal, 3 though. So he hasn't been the most accurate as he usually is. But a chance here to get back to that 50-point lead to the Cats and get the first goal of the second half. He comes in now, passes 50, kicks towards goal, crowd goes up, and he kicks the goal. Cats start the third term as well as they did in the first half. So back to 50 points. In the other game, by the way, guys, the Crows lead it at half-time by 17 points, 41-24, I believe. Just waiting for it to re-update. Yeah, that's still the scores, obviously, at half-time. Yeah, just a little bit easy there for the Cats to get through. They found the free man in Jeremy Cameron. He did fumble it, though. And then somehow Myers got the ball, and then he got pushed in the back. So just get a little bit of too much space there. The Bombers haven't been up to scratch with the pressure tonight. Blitzars gets a little kick away somehow. Perkins spins out of it. Couldn't get the hands free. Now Merritt gets the handball away. They take the advantage here, the Bombers. At half back now, Heppel drives a long ball inside the forward 50, but it's a terrible kick. Cut off easily by Tom Stewart. Back in the middle of the ground. Duncan takes the mark. He plays on now, sends the ball into the middle. It's a dangerous kick, cut off well from Heppel. Hits the ground though, Myers does nicely. Blitzars handles it over the top. Guthrie tries to break the tackle of Martin, just gets the hands free. Perkins can't get rid of it either. Now Rowan works it inside the forward 50. One-on-one here is Hawkins, waited for it, and Verkaccia cuts it off. In short to McGrath. So McGrath handballs it over the top. Not the best handball. Not the best play either. Snelling gets tackles well on Myers. Probably threw that. Play on. Out the back, Stengel. Can't get it. Laverde to Parrish. Now Snelling. Working it through your hands now, the Bombers. Now they've caught it up, though. Perkins just gets the ball to boot quickly. It's cut off. Now Kolajasny over to Cameron, who works a low ball there on the left boot to Close, who can't take the mark. Snelling probably got a high one, wasn't paid. Diving in there was Close on Snelling, and now gets out somehow. Snelling to Guthrie, who leaves it behind. Eventually gets the hands free to Myers. Great 20-metre handball in front of Paddy Dangerfield in the pocket. Great pressure. Somehow gets the hands over the top. Brilliant. Now Cameron sends a high ball, went about 4 metres. Won't be paid. Gets on the ground, Martin. Oh, the kick across goal was terrible. It's across the ground. Rowan picks it up, and the Cats have got another. Nick Martin would like to take that ball back, and that was a terrible kick. Cuts it off, and another goal to the Cats. Maybe that second half comeback isn't looking likely now for the Bombers. That was not good at all. Doesn't seem like it's going to be their night tonight, the Bombers. Cats have been brilliant from the outset. So back in the middle, 56-point lead to the Cats now. They want to take this one and get some percentage to go with it. Wins it down there with Stanley. Atkins just sockers it out of the middle of the ground. Goes out towards the commentary side wing. Durham worried out of it by Isaac Smith and takes it over the line. Umpire throws it in. Wins it down there was Brian. Atkins coming through. Free kick's been ripped out here. It's going to go to Zach Merritt. Kind of quiet in that. He was pretty good in the first quarter, Zach Merritt. Since then, he's been pretty quiet. He sends a long ball towards half forward. Coming up was Wright. Couldn't get it. His hands to it. Guthrie left it behind. Coming through was Langford hard. He's been quiet. Bowes handballs it out wide to Smith, just out of his grasp, and rolls out of bounds. It's been well held tonight, Zach Merritt. He's been tagged well through the midfield. He hasn't been really tagged by the one. Mark O'Connor went to him early, but since then, it's been Tom Atkins. Oh, fuck off! That was a dangerous tackle. Fuck me. Redmond tries to get it down. Henry gets the hands free, does well. Now Isaac Smith sends a high ball. Try and get onto that one, he says. Blizzard tries to make an effort for it, couldn't do it. Now Single gets the hands free and finds it to Henry, just thumps it forward. Kelly cuts it off though. Martin works it to Laverde, who falls over. Handballs it into the knee of Henry and it'll go out of bounds. Oh, free kick's going to go to Laverde. I don't know about that. I mean, he fell over. It's not like Henry could have done much more than what he did. But free kick's been ripped out here. That's tough. Long ball towards the wing again. Up goes Collar Jasny. High one on Durham. Get a free kick. I didn't! There's 4 fucking umpires out there and they fucking... Oh, jeez. Brian wins it down. Parrish can't grab it. Does well to get back into it though. Merritt taps it forward, trying to get someone onto it. Eventually they work it forward a little bit, but Bo's coming through it nicely. Durham dives on it though. He's going to be in trouble here. Umpire calls for a ball up. Bruin does well, gives it off to Duncan, sends a high ball back inside the forward 50. 1-on-1 is Cameron, did well to push him under it. There was Ridley. Thumps it away, Zerk Thatcher. Now McGrath gets the kick out of the defensive 50, but it's going to come back. Stewart takes the mark. Went to go, then had no option. So he's just going to hold it up, Tom Stewart. 16 intercept marks from the Cats tonight. They've been brilliant, as they always are. If you give them the option to take the intercept mark, they're going to take them. Henry couldn't mark it, gets out the back to Cameron, who sends a high ball, pushed off it as he kicked it, but he still gets hits a good spot with it. Rowan can't mark. Bruin just met Laverde. That was a hard hit. And eventually, Zerk Thatcher's happy to see it out of bounds. So inside 50 here for the Cats. Dominating this third term as they've done most of the game. Hawkins couldn't grab it. Taps it forward though, trying to find someone. Snelling happy to just soccer it 40 metres out of defence. Langford couldn't gather it. Tried to get it on the ground, couldn't either. Henry gets it out to Guthrie. Just gets the hands free out to Stewart, who fumbles though. Good pressure here from the Bombers. Wiedemann drags it in. He's going to be there by Stewart. Be another stoppage. 12 minutes to go, third term. Cats kicked the only 2 goals of this third quarter so far. Bombers yet to score. Thumped it forward, coming through his Hobbs. He gets it on the bounce. Handballs it to Kelly. Now inside to Brian. Had to get the hands free through that. Wasn't paid though. Snelling works it inside. Good play. McGrath now sends the ball down the wing. Good kick. Good mark there from Guelphy. Doesn't have too many options. Just goes inside, finds Martin. So in the middle of the ground here, Bombers go to switch it though. Again, slow play though. It's been their detriment all night. Ridley works it in short though. Finds Merritt. Been well held, as I said a little bit earlier. Doesn't have too many options, though. Again, no leading players. There is someone free in the pocket. I think it's Durham. He goes long, though. Up goes right. Couldn't bring it down. Langford did want to find some space. Works into the pocket. This would be a highlight. Doesn't really get the bend that he wanted on it. Oh, takes it in the goal square. Will Snelling, the shortest player. Great mark. Great mark there from Will Snelling. And a chance there to get the 4th goal. First goal of the second half. It was a great mark at the top of the goal square. Langford looked like he may have been going for goal, but I think he was actually centering it, which is a very good play. That's their first mark inside forward 50 tonight, the Bombers. Courtesy of the unlikely Will Snelling. He comes in pretty much straight in front. Not much distance to speak of. He just chips it over the goal umpire's head. And there's their 4th goal of the game for the Bombers. Back to 50 points. Did well there, Langford, just to set it up to the top of the goal square. He's had a really quiet night, obviously being up forward, but he's done really well there to get in that contest and call it, and then get it to a dangerous spot. And anything can happen in that situation. Ollie Henry probably should have done a little bit better there, but it still was a good play there from the Bombers. Back in the middle, though, Atkins gets a soccer forward. Parrish will get there first. Just keeps it away from Dangerfield. Hobbs probably got a high one, and he gets the free kick. Dangerfield, no, he thought the umpire was going to pay 50 there. Wasn't paid. Oh, it was paid. Dangerfield gives away 50 metres, and the Bombers will get to about 50. Yeah, they do. Ben Hobbs at 50. He plays on now, sends a high ball towards the top of the goal, so it's a really bad kick. And Tom Stewart, every day of his career, has done that. Takes the mark. That's the last play you kick it on top. Kick it to in the defensive in your forward 50. The College Asney now to Guthrie. He's got DeConing in short. Probably won't go there. Happy to take a little bit of time out of this game. Guthrie sends a high ball towards the wing. Packer players form. Up goes Ollie Henry. Couldn't bring it down, though. Bose on the ground, left it behind. Menzies couldn't gather it either. Well done there from Bose to find Holmes. He just got the hands free to Smith, and now they work it forward here. Great chase down tackle there from Ridley. Brought Rowan down. Probably could have got rewarded. Play on. Laverde gathered well there from him, but dragged down by Henry being able to stoppage. 10 minutes to go on the third term. Cats up by 50 points. Stanley dropped it though. Gets out to Parrish, who sends the ball towards the wing. Gets on the bounce there. Stringer did well, then left the ball behind. Tackled well there from O'Connor. The ball's under Stringer's hip. He can't get it out though. Eventually gathers it under, and stoppage will be called. Right at the interchange gates for the Cats. Duncan comes on for Atkins. Umpire throws it up. Stanley tops it down. Can't grab it, was Hobbs. Dangerfield tackled almost without it from Durham. Hobbs gathered it well. Great, dragged it in there was Dangerfield. Probably got a high one from Durham. Umpire calls for another throw in. Bit of a standstill in this one now. Obviously, this game is pretty much over. 50-point lead to the Cats in this third quarter. They've kicked 2 of the 3 goals in it. Bombers have done a little bit better in the past 5-10 minutes, but nonetheless, I think the Bombers kind of know and the Cats know that they've won this one. Hobbs gets the ball forward a good 20 metres. Couldn't gather it on the bounce. There was O'Connor. Sees it out of bounds. It's been okay, Hobbs, in this third term. Been brilliant for the Bombers in the midfield this year, especially with the injury to Darcy Parish in the midway early season. Currently had 16 tonight, 8 kicks, 8 handballs. Wins it down there. Smith dragged down there without the football. Probably should get a free kick, and he does. Cats cheer for that free kick, even though they've probably had about 3 times the amount of free kicks they've ever had against an opponent down at GMHBA Stadium, but we're not going to talk about that nonetheless. Isaac Smith sends a high ball towards the 50 now. Henry and Heppel get there. Heppel can't mark to Thatcher. Thumps it towards the boundary line, and Perkins happy to see it over. Second half has started in the other game right now. Crows lead it by 16 points over the GWS Giants. Umpire lobs it in. Wright wins it down. Dangerfield tackled well there from Durham. Gets the hands free though. He's always been able to do that. That was a throw against Smith. Wasn't paid. Perkins wasn't even looking. Just snapped it over his shoulder. Cut off well from Duncan. Bit of a stalemate here. This game has really hit a standstill. Both teams, I think, know where this game's going to be heading. Duncan works in short, finds Holmes. Sad coming from an Essendon fan. I'm sorry to hear that, man. They haven't played that well tonight. But, I mean, always hard to go down to Geelong and win. I'm a Swan supporter, I know. We've done well down there in years, but obviously earlier this year we lost by 94 points. You're not doing that bad. Jeremy Cameron misses a mark. Gives it off to Myers there. Hawkins gets the check side kick, goes the wrong way, out on the fall. I think the Bombers will be okay. I think it's a bit of a mulligan, to be fair. They just got outplayed in the first quarter by so much. Oh, God. Ridley takes the mark. So Ridley in the defensive goal square goes in short to McGrath. That wasn't 15. Play on. Ridley gives it off to Heppel. Trying to get out of defensive 50 through hands. Then eventually Heppel goes in short, finds Wiedemann. Honestly, I think this guy has to be dropped to the VFL. Get some confidence back there. He's done nothing in the past few weeks. Wiedemann sends a high ball towards the wing. Up goes Tom Stewart. Couldn't bring it down, though. Out the back. Gets the kick off the ground, though. Coming through there was Duncan. Left it behind. Stringer dives for it. Did well. Gets the kick forward. It's not the best kick, though. Cut off there from Isaac Smith, and Durham's been called against 50. So many turnovers from the Bombers. Yeah, that's true. They've turned it over a lot tonight. Yeah, this is a pretty... Yeah, I think you're right. Estras, sorry. Yeah, it's going to be... Estrix, sorry. Yeah, it's going to be a big hit to their percentage. Stanley works it out. Works well, get the ball at 60. Gives it off to Guthrie on the run. He works it into the pocket. Tom Hawkins takes the lead and takes the mark. Brad Scott looking bemused in the box. Not much he can do now. The Cats are just all over them at the moment. Chance here for Tom Hawkins to kick his third. He's got 2 goals, 3 tonight. Zerk Thatcher did everything he could. It's probably just something the Bombers need to work on in the off-season. Finding a real defensive player to go... Sorry, a real tough one-on-one defender to come into their team. There's a couple this year in the trade period or free agency that they can look at. That's definitely one option they could do. Zerk Thatcher and Ridley and Laverde this season have been brilliant, but when they've met tall forwards like this, they've just dominated. Tom Hawkins kicks his third. Back to that 56-point lead. Currently, the other game... I should have watched the other game. What am I doing watching this game? I thought this one would be close. I thought the Bombers would really give them a chance tonight, but Geelong has just been brilliant from the outset, really. Bombers had no chance. Other game, by the way, Crows lead it by 15 over the Giants. Giants have got 3 goals, 8 right now on 26, and the Crows are 6-5-41, I believe. Don't quote me on that. I'm just looking at the scores and estimating what they're on. Hobbs gets the ball, handballs it into space, handballs it upwards, not really to anyone in particular. Stanley back to Atkins, sends the ball towards 50. Cut off there from Kelly, cut it off his own teammate. Then gathers it through the ball. That should be a free kick to Stengel, wasn't paid. Brian, over to Caldwell, coming through with Perkins, couldn't gather it. Stanley gets it out towards Bowes. Did well to get the hands free, then Rowan fumbles it for a moment. Has time to give it out to Duncan, though, and Duncan goes out wide, finds Jack Bowes, who kept going. Yeah, I agree, Estrix. I thought the Bombers were going to be really big tonight, but I guess they just got met well by the Cats. Cameron works it in short and finds Tom Hawkins. Looks like he's going to be in for a bit of a bag in the second half, Tom. He's getting a bit free. Nick Hind is coming onto the ground now. Sub has been made for the Bombers. So it looks like Jaden Laverde is going to be subbed off here for the Bombers. Nick Hind is coming on. I think this should have been made in halfway through the second quarter, to be honest. I know it would have been a bit early for it, but as soon as Laverde went down, I think it was like, all right, just chuck him on. Give him some run. But nonetheless, a chance here to get to a game-high lead. Tom Hawkins comes into the pocket. Looks pretty nice. Oh, he's nailed it. They're hot tonight, the Cats. Bombers get another. Fucking idiot. Cats get another. $62-point lead to the Bombers. Massive performance from the Cats tonight. And this just gives them a real chance to push towards even top 4 at this stage. They'll be 6 points behind the Demons, who have not looked the best. They did get a win against the Lions late, but if the Lions just didn't stop, they would have won that game. Yeah, Jaden Laverde has been subbed out. Back in the middle. Stanley and Brian been on at it all night. Stanley wins it down. Thumped away was Merritt. Thumps it 30 metres forward. Stewart gets out the back of him. Dangerfield gets there first. He gives it out to Duncan. Duncan works it in short. Finds Stanley. Couldn't gather it on the bounce. He's still got some time. Tapped it forward to find Atkins. Atkins works it to Smith. He's happy to work it in short to Rowan on the right boot. 4.5 minutes to go. This horror show's still got another quarter to go. Works it inside Rowan. Dangerfield's hot. Takes the mark on the one hand. Then sends the ball inside 50 with an absolute mongrel. Cut off well from Snelling. Oh, God! Couldn't go a worse kick there, Wiedemann. Cut that one off here. The Cats converge on it. Caldwell gets it out to Redmond. Couldn't gather it there. Was Martin. Hawkins couldn't gather it either. McGrath works it out wide to a one-on-one. Great mark from Blitzars on Stringer. He gives off the handball. Now Rowan has an option just 20 metres in front of him, and it's Brad Close. Basically, with a 50 metres to the boundary line, he takes the mark. Brad Close kicked 2 early goals. He was involved in the 7-goal blitz earlier in this game. Basically, where the game was won. Since then, it's only been, what? A 2-goal lead from the Cats since. 2.5 goals, I think. Brad Close comes in. Nearly an impossible angle. He's set it up pretty nice. It won't get there. Thumped through for a behind by Nick Bryan. Kelly works in short to Heppel. Back to Kelly. He's going to get met down by Stengel. Just got the kick away. And he'll go out of bounds for a throw in. Bombers fans don't look too impressed right now. Can't really say I blame them. I'd be pissed off having to drive an hour down the road to Geelong just to get flogged. Blitzars taps it down out the front, does nicely. Gives it off to Dangerfield, who kicks it towards the forward goal square. Rowan does well to fight for it. Spinning around, gets possession of the ball eventually. Throwing that one away there, Parrish. That'll be a throw. Free kick to the Cats. The horror show continues for the Bombers. And another goal could be beckoning here for the Cats. He's tackled well there from O'Connor. He couldn't get the hands free. And a throw was always going to be called. So Mark O'Connor been pretty good tonight, playing on merit early, then's gone to Parrish throughout the most of the night since then. He's not going to go to handball. I don't know about that. No, he's going to go back now. A chance here to send it out to a 69-point lead. Comes in, Mark O'Connor, and nails it. Another goal to the Cats. Another hammer blow to the Bombers. This game could go right out at the moment. This is getting a little bit ugly. So a 69-point lead to the Bombers. Right now, the Bombers have lost... Oh, shit. They've lost 6%. They've actually dropped out of the 8. That is huge. Atkins gets it forward here. Working forward. There was... Close couldn't gather it, though. Atkins on the ground couldn't gather it either. Bryan tries to get it free. Coming through was Blitzars. Bryan drops it, though. Atkins can't get it free either. Blitzars on the ground working hard. Tackled well from Perkins. In merit be another stoppage. This is big for the Bombers, because if they don't come back here, they're going to be drop out of the 8. Their percentages dropped by 6%, dropped lower than the Bulldogs and the Saints, and now sit in 9th spot as this game has gone on. Because at this stage, the Crows are winning. They're only leading by 4 points, so it's not exactly a huge lead. But at this point, they take their spot inside the 8. And the Cats will go to 5th spot on the ladder. Atkins gets it out to Stengel. Another chance here for the Cats to get another one. He works inside the forward 50 to a leading Jeremy Cameron, who finally takes the mark. Hasn't had the best night, Jeremy Cameron, but he can have his moment. Hasn't kicked a goal, I don't believe. But a chance here to send it out to 75 points and give the Cats a bit of a percentage booster. Not that they really need it, because they've got that draw against the Swans, which was ridiculous. The Swans absolutely sucked that night. They missed every single shot they could have got to win that game, but they didn't. Anyway, not sad about it anyway, nonetheless. Cameron from 50. Oh, jeez. Oh, jeez. He has a wry smile. That came off the side of the boot. Absolute mung. Out of bounds on the full. Crows currently lead by 10 points against the Giants, by the way. Second game go right out of the white. Honestly, at this point, I may even stop watching this. No, I'll watch it till the end, but fuck me. Atkins tackles well, be another stoppage. Bryan goes up for it, gets it dragged down, out to Stengel. Stengel gets the ball forward once again. It hits the ground inside their forward 50. Working hard was Henry, couldn't gather it. Redmond goes up, couldn't bring it with him. McGrath off the ground, wasn't 15 to Perkins, so he gives it back to McGrath, who then fumbles. Guelphy leaves it behind. Atkins' pressure from the Cats has been brilliant all night. Cuts it off though. Kelly to Perkins. He sends the ball towards the wing now. Stringer in a one-on-one. Free kick's been ripped out. Will go to Stewart. He works it back to find Henry. Inside, finds Guthrie, who works it out wide to Duncan. Haven't had a lot of work to do tonight, these Cats defenders. Finds Smith, who's probably been one of the best for the Cats tonight. Wheels around on that lethal left boot. Sends it high ball. Up goes Bryan. Good mark. Sends it out wide. Finds Stringer. Gets a couple of jeers from the Essendon fans, I believe. That's not the best sight to see. He sends the ball long towards the wing. 2-on-2 is out there. Blizzards goes back with the fly. Couldn't bring it down. Siren has gone. In the three-quarter time, the Cats have a massive 69-point lead. Scores are 14-11-95 to the Bombers 4-2-26. It's been a demolition job down in Geelong tonight. And there's still one more quarter to go. Alright guys, the three-quarter time, we have Max Holmes leading all comers with the 23 touches, Isaac Smith with the 21 along with Brian Myers, Tom Atkins with the 20, and then 19, Tim McGrath rounds out the top 5. And then for the AFL Fantasy watchers out there, we have Tom Atkins with the 91, Tom Hawkins with the 90, Isaac Smith with the 86, Holmes with the 80, and the 79s of Brian Myers rounds out the top 5. I actually got a bit of an idea. Hang on. G'day guys, and welcome back to the Boundary Riders podcast. Today we're up to episode 19 and just completed round 17 of the AFL season. Really getting towards the end of the season. Oh, yeah. Actually, I'm going to delete that. I'm going to put this game up here. I can't watch this game anymore. It's so bad. I'm sorry. I'll keep an eye on the scores so we're not missing anything. But yeah, this game's gone to shit, dude. This game has gone to shit. All right. Alright. Yeah, something to do with the umpires this game is done. What do you mean by the umpires? Yeah, I'm going to put on the other game, guys. I'm sorry if you guys... I will keep you guys updated. I'll keep on updating the scores, but this game is fucking gone, dude. At least the other game's got a bit of a chance of the Giants maybe pulling it off, or, you know, it's a closer game. What do you mean an absolute miracle to win? They need 69 points, Claff. What do you mean a miracle? A miracle would be coming back from 35 points, not 69. They're not going to get... They're going to have to get 12 goals. Shut your mouth. 12 goals. Yeah, all right, Kath. If they get 12 goals in this last quarter and win the game, I will shave my pubes off with a fucking woman's razor. Fuck me. That was such shit commentary. I'm sorry, but that's fucking dumb. Duh. Alright, so the Crows currently lead by 16 points. O'Brien wins it out of the ruck. He sends a high ball towards 50. Up goes Lockie. Murphy takes the mark. Got hit hard, but he took the mark there, Lockie Murphy. Chance here for the Crows to go back and get out to a 22-point lead. He's getting up very slowly, Lockie Murphy, at the moment. Eventually he gets to his feet. So Murphy comes in. Breaks 50, kicks towards goal. He's hooked it a little. It fades back, but not enough. Through for a behind. So now Himmelberg will take the kick in here for the cat. Fucking idiot, the Giants. Sends a long ball out towards the wing. Hogan did well to push his opponent under it, but a free kick has been ripped out. Will go to the Crows. Yeah, no one in the crowd knew who it was going to, but it was to the Crows. Now Hinge works it inside all on his own. Here is Worrell. He takes the mark. Cadman couldn't reach him. Doesn't have too many options here, Worrell. Wheels around now on the left boot and sends the ball inside the forward 50 to a pack of players. Pedler on his own. Should have marked it. Wasn't paid. Ash gets on the ground, does nicely. Taylor handballs at 20 metres towards the boundary line. It'd be interesting what the umpire calls here. Murphy meets it and goes out of bounds. Knocks it down there, O'Brien coming through as Bedford. Did well, gives it off to Perryman, who gets tackled without it, then got it back though. Bedford tackled well, and Jones gets it inside the forward 50 on the bounce. Couldn't gather it, was Walker. Taylor left it behind as well, Phil Thorpe. Tries to get it back to Walker, who gets tackled eventually there by Jack Buckley. Ward off the ground, couldn't get rid of it. Iden gives it back to Fay, who's on the ground. Back to Iden, he plays on now. Sends a high ball towards the wing. It's going to go out on the full though. Poor option, cut off it. Crows have a chance to get it back inside. Oh! Someone just got hit. Oh, he's under a lot of pressure here. Just gets away there. I think it was Brodie Smith. He sends the ball back towards forward 50. Briggs going back. Great mark. Great mark from the big fella and Kieran Briggs. Who gives off the handball immediately. Ash. Doesn't have many options. You may have to give it back to Briggs. Don't know about that option. They give it back to Ash. He breaks past Fogarty, but then turns it over. Murphy gives it back to Rankin. He tries to step Himmelberg and did well. Rankin, short little ball. Wasn't the best kick. Iden cut it off. Couldn't mark it though. Got a high one there from McAdam. Wasn't paid. Looked for the high one. Free kick. Didn't get it. Ash on the ground does well. Perryman tackles well. Be another stoppage. Inside the forward 50 for the just outside the forward 50 for the Crows. Yeah, it was Laird who got hit. I don't know why the vision's so fuzzy right now. I can't hardly see anything. Gets it out towards Whitfield. He can't get rid of it. Could be in trouble. Murphy gets it out the back. Missed Hinge, though. Daniels playing for the free. Didn't get it. Hinge can't gather it. He's kicked it. They've gone 50 metres back here, the Crows, courtesy of fumbling. Now at the back to turn it over. Here go the Giants. Long ball towards the forward 50. 2-on-1. Here's Cadman. Great work for Miller to get across. Poor option, if I'm being honest. And now the Crows can switch it. He's got Lockie Scholl at half back. He sends a long ball down the wing. Up goes O'Brien. Couldn't mark it. Players standing around it. Not really doing anything, really. And now they work it forward in the Giants. Great kick going inside. Oh, and Cadman dropped it. Hogan dropped a sitter. So 17-point lead to the Crows. 3 minutes to go. O'Brien wins it down. Coming through there nicely was Kelly. And now they send a high ball towards the forward 50. Hogan in a 1-on-1. Probably got a high one. And it has been paid. But shouldn't have done that. It was definitely a high free kick. He didn't have to do it. Hogan was nowhere near that ball. Hogan's kicked 1 goal tonight. Chance here for the Giants to get it back to within 11 points. Hogan comes in. He runs around on the right boot. Snaps towards goal. It's Skinny. He's missed it. Laird not looking too happy right now. He's got a shoulder injury, it seems. But long kick now to defensive 50. Up goes Taylor. Couldn't bring it down. Briggs did well to get the hands free. Now Ash. He's going to get dragged down from Jordan Dawson. That's holding the footy. Great work there from Dawson. Doesn't have many options here, Dawson. Eventually moves it on now. Sends it towards 50. Great kick. Finds Pedler, who takes a good mark. Then played for the 50. Umpire's not having it. Looks like Rory Laird's going to be going down to the rooms at the moment. So that's a big thing. That's big for the Crows. Probably their best midfielder with Jordan Dawson. Pedler was going back. He was happy to go for a shot, but it wasn't paid. He plays on. Long ball towards the top of the goal square. Can't mark it. Briggs kicks it out of there very dangerously. Cut off well there from Dawson. And he'll go back. A chance here late in the third to get the Crows out by 22 points. Time for the comeback. What happened? Did they kick a goalie though? I don't know. I'm not even watching that game anymore. I've given up. Yeah, I don't know about that from Kieran Briggs. How you doing anyway, Swans man? Chance here for Jordan Dawson to kick the Crows out by 22 points. Had a really good night. Chance here to get a good goal. He comes in. He's left it out to the left-hand side. It comes back, but he's at the post. You're going to switch as well? You should have done it a long time ago, man. 17 points the difference. Same as it was at halftime. 44 seconds to go. Kicking duties here to Himmelberg, who goes along with the kick on the outer wing. Packer players form. Going up there nicely was Riccardi. Couldn't bring it down. Butts gets out the handball to Sloan. To Worrell. Gets it smothered well from Iden and goes out of bounds. 30 seconds to go in this third quarter. Crows lead it by 17 points. Currently, the Cats still lead it by 71 points. How riveting. How riveting. Briggs wins it down, straight down to Murphy, who gets it inside the 450 for the Crows. 30 seconds to go. Rankin can't mark on the ground, though. Great pressure there from Taylor. On the ground here. He gets on going, Buckley. Did brilliantly. Keeps it just inside the field of play. Goes down the wing. Got a bad bounce green, but he gets out to Bedford. They've got 12 seconds here. Bedford just can't gather it, though. Coming through was Murray. No, late chance here for the Crows here. Keys works it over the top. Dawson gives it off to Scholl. They've got some few seconds left. Out the back. Poor kick. Himmelberg takes the mark. And at three-quarter time, the Crows lead it by 17 points. Sorry, I'm just trying to get this. So it's 3/4 time in that game, guys. Yeah, the game's still really fuzzy on my end. Is it on you? Easy dub for the Cats? Yeah, true. Goal to the Cats. Yay, we're winning. How cool. Bit of a guru. Ooh, a guru. Guru. You see the game on Thursday? Yeah, the Swans did well. My dad Geelong, and he's acting like a child going around the house in excitement. I don't know why. The Bombers aren't exactly... I don't think anyone had thought the Bombers were going to win this game. Like, I thought they'd do better, but they're not... Yeah, I don't know. Just tell your dad they're premiership bound, obviously. I wouldn't be too excited. I mean, it's not exactly a huge win. At least they're in the top 5, I guess. But this game's got some ramifications on it as well. Because the Bombers are losing so poorly right now, they're actually going to be out of the 8 by the end of this game. Unless they can catch back. The live ladder shows right now that you can't show the live ladder on the AFL site. I don't know why. You can on your phone. If you guys have the AFL app on your phone, just look at live ladder. You can just go to the ladder and flick it on live. Right now, they're out of the 8 on percentage now, the Bombers. And their percentage is going to go under 100 if they keep on going this way. They're 100.8 right now. They're 107 points. 107.1 at the start of this game. They're now 100.8. So what's that? 6.8? 6.7? I can't remember. I don't know. I don't do math. I'm 25, guys. I don't do maths anymore. You guys are kids. You guys should be doing maths. Oh, the Cat's got another goal. Yippee skippy. The official vodka seltzer of the AFL is Good Tides. Epic. I'm going to get myself a Good Tide just because it's the AFL sponsor or something. I don't know what they are, but okay. All good. Finals hopes live Bombers crap. What celebrations? I don't know what you're talking about. What are you talking about? Oh, God, yippee, skippy. Sorry. The Cats got another goal. Yay. Geelong is playing Brisbane next week and Essendon are playing Western Bulldogs. Big game for both teams, really. So big last quarter for both sides in this one. Yippee skippy indeed. That's going to be my... If we ever do merch, it will say yippee skippy on it, guys, alright? So a 17-point lead to the Crows at three-quarter time. That's the game we're watching right now, guys. I am keeping an eye on the Essendon game. But if I watched any more of that, my brain was going to melt. So I hope you guys understand. They currently lead by 83 points. I'm not expecting a comeback for the Cats right now, but I can't exactly 100% say that. So Crows, last quarter, 17-point lead. Umpire ready to bounce it down. It's a good win by the Swans, though, by the way. Swans, man. I don't think we'll make finals, but it does make the last 8 weeks of the season very interesting. Green gets the clearance, long ball, going back with the flight was Butts, almost took that. Going down was Brown, did well, gets the hands free. Riccardi towards goal, the bounce will matter. Just trickles through for a behind. First score of the final quarter goes to the Giants. And by the way, the Bombers scored a goal. Here comes the comeback. Long ball, up goes Fogarty. Couldn't bring it down. Buckley spores it away. Laird did well. Kicks the long ball towards the 50. One-on-one is Iden and Rankin. Gets the spoil away. In fact, it was McAdam, but Taylor grabs it. Went to handball, then said, I'll just kick it instead. Back into the middle of the ground. Miller couldn't mark it. Gets out the back. Laird did well. Handballs it further back to Murray, who stepped well on Daniels. Dawson handballs it back to Murray. Got some space here, the Crows. So back to Brodie Smith. He's got an option in keys in short. Decides to go longer than that. Towards forward 50. Great mark from McAdam. Who plays on in short to Fogarty. Too much on it. Buckley cuts it off. Wasn't paid. Don't know about that decision. And Buckley be taken down for a ball up. So Mitch Hinge going back to defensive 50. Rankin over the top. Goes towards Pedler. He does well to keep it in front of him. McAdam can't get free. Now Murphy in the middle. Just can't grab it. Now Perryman handballs it towards the boundary line. It's going to be in trouble here, Perryman. And he's got Hanquin in short. He was begging the umpire not to pay it, and he got his lucky reprieve there from the umpire. Bro, come on, I'm sorry. Yippee, Skippy. Sorry. Umpire reaps it back in. Inside the forward 50 for the Crows. O'Brien wins it down. One on them for Briggs to knock it out of the Crows' grasp. Cornelio back to Taylor. He sends a high ball to outside defensive 50. Up goes Hogan. Should have marked it in the end. Murray on the ground. Kicks the ball. Tries to get inside 50. Eventually does. Keys to Laird, who jams it on the boot towards the top of the goal square. Iden's first one back. Just spores it away. Safety first. Knocks it a good 30 metres away and he goes out of bounds. $18 minutes to go in this fourth term. Umpire rips it back in. Briggs gets the tap down. Goes towards the boundary line. And happy to see it over was Chase Jones. Just outside the defensive 50. Take a crazy mark and then dribble the bloody ball. What do you mean? That's the best part of the AFL. Nah, I agree. Essendon scored another goal, guys. They're coming back. Kath Lochnan was right. They needed a miracle and here it comes. Fuck, man. So now working it forward, here's Hogan over to Toby Green. He's asking for Brown over the top. He works it in short. Great kick, finds Brown. Great little pop kick there to Callum Brown. And a chance here for the Giants to get back within 10 points. Yippee skippy indeed. So Callum Brown, the Irishman, actually been a pretty good source for goals this year for the Giants. Played a little bit of defence earlier in the year, chucked him forward, and he's done some good things. Callum Brown comes in. Hard kick here at the Adelaide Oval. And he kicks it straight into the crowd, out of bounds on the full. Not a very good effort there from Callum Brown. He wanted that one back. Looks like Faye's actually going to... He's not on yet. I thought he was on. I'm an idiot. Faye's getting himself warmed up to come onto the ground. Sends a long ball out towards the wing. Briggs goes up, couldn't bring it with him. Kelly to Canelio. Works it out now. Here go the... Oh, Cumming just couldn't get it. He gets it back on the ricochet. Sockers it forward. Toby Green, great play. Oh, Toby! Sing us a dance. What a goal! Toby Green working some magic. That's a team lifter. Goal to the Giants. First goal of the final quarter. Yippee Skippy. Fuck, I'm an idiot. That was brilliant from Toby Green. 10 points the difference. He kicks the first goal of the last. So back in the middle of the ground, 10 points the difference. Cats have sealed it like a quarter time. I don't know, man. I think the Bombers are coming back. Taylor Walker long couldn't get the mark. Taylor did well. Now McAdam taps it forward. Rochelle breaks past one, past two, gets the hands free. McAdam did well, stepped one. Then the handball was really poor, went to ground immediately. Dawson works it in short, couldn't get there. Does well, Kelly. Kelly to Ward. Great tackle there from Jones. Ward couldn't get rid of it. Gets tackled eventually. Rochelle gets it out. And tackled well, be another stoppage. So it looks like McHenry's going to be coming onto the ground. Not McHenry. Who's that? Is that McHenry? I don't even know. Anyway, Rochelle gets the ball, clearing bully from the Giants. Gets out of defensive 50. Goes through Toby Green. Couldn't mark it. Does well. Iden. In fact, it's Brown, sorry. Over the top to Canelio. Just couldn't get the hands free cleanly. Keys. Tackled well though from Canelio, and they're locking up the Giants. You also subbed. I appreciate that, man. NC plays. Yeah, did you see that shit for Dane Rampy? Got 2 weeks for accidentally running into someone? I was so fucking pissed. If he gets 2 weeks for that, that's fucking bullshit. Accidentally ran into an opponent and got 2 weeks. Fuck me. Anyway, Briggs thumps it down towards the forward 50. Not really a player there, though. Could be in trouble by the umpire. And he pays deliberate. So a free kick will go to the Crows. Sorry, I'm watching the other game, by the way, guys. I know... Oh, jeez. I'm watching the other game night, guys. I'm sorry, but, yeah, I couldn't watch that Bombers game anymore. It's 71 points at the moment. It's okay, Bombers. You'll still probably be in the 8. Well, they're not in the 8 at the moment. But, yeah, I mean, I think they will probably... I think they should still make the 8. They have a pretty easy last 4 games of the season, but... Yeah, this is a real damager to their percentage. They're nearly under 100% now. Ward gives it off to Himmelberg. Raking handball in the middle of the ground was dangerous. Ash just tries to tap it forward towards Lloyd. It wasn't a good option, though. He didn't deserve to. He didn't deserve to even be looked at. Taylor gets it at the back. Rochelle working hard. Perryman does well. Worries him out of it. Did well, Perryman. Gets it out of defense. Just gets it out of the danger. Cumming. Gets the ball to boot. Trickles towards the boundary line. Does well there was Ware. He gets tackled, though. Gets it out there. McAdam tackled well there. From Cumming, he gets it out of bounds. Rochelle got a bit of a smile up at the moment. He was hoping for a free, didn't get it. Goal to the Cats, insane. Just when the Bombers were making their comeback, guys. I thought they were coming, guys, and they've suddenly lost it. I'm so... Fuck! Briggs wins it down. Gets out the back towards Sloan. Gets tackled well there from Ward. Sorry, but now Ware has it. Good tackle from Scholl. Gets the ball away. I'm a Geelong supporter. Well, they were coming back, man. I'm sorry to tell you. I mean, you're lucky you got that goal, but Essendon were definitely on the charge before that goal. It's a 10-point lead at the moment to the Crows. Umpire throws it in again. Briggs wins it down. Coming through is Daniels. He gets the clearance. Kicks it towards the forward 50. Riccardi pushed under it a little. Does well, though, butts with that contest. Worrell smothered well there from Riccardi. Gets at the back. Toby Green gets it over the top to Riccardi from the pocket. Breaks 40. Kicks towards goal. He left it out to the right and misses it. They got the momentum at the moment, the Giants. They're playing some good footy. Just couldn't finish that crucial moment. Yippee skippy. I'm not going to say that every time. Jesus Christ. So now Miller will take the kick in here for the Crows. Long ball towards the wing. He's looking for Fogarty. He does well. Buckley thumps it forward. Daniels can't gather it. Himmelberg left it behind. Great work from Murray to clear it. Inside the middle of the ground, Walker did well with the body, but he gets further than that to Cumming. He sends the ball towards 50. It's not the best kick, but Lloyd reads it well. Now Kelly from 50. Kicks towards goal. Josh Kelly! I think he's got it. He has! Josh Kelly launches it home. Giants within 3 points. The crowd was silent. I didn't know what to say, but Josh Kelly nails it. Giants back to within 3 points. And the small crowd for the Giants have in Adelaide Oval tonight went up with a very low cheer. I thought Jesse Hogan would show some emotion on the goal line. He didn't do anything. Great finish from Josh Kelly. You think they said Adelaide will win? Well, at the moment, it's going to be a close one, it looks like. Oh, God, guys. NC players, you better be worried. The Bombers just got another one. Here they come. They've kicked 3 of the past 4. Fuck me. In the middle, O'Brien tackled well from Briggs. Be another stoppage. Giants with all the momentum at the moment. Still heaps of time in it, though. Fay has came onto the ground here for the Giants as the sub. Briggs thumps it out wide, trying to get it towards Fay, the sub. Didn't get out there. McHenry gets the clearance. Long ball towards 50. Buckley couldn't grab it. Hits the ground. Now McHenry. Didn't have anyone to go forward, so he works it back to Pedler, who now goes long with the kick. 1-on-1. It gets in front, Rankin. Just couldn't mark it. Buckley did well. Dropped it, though. Iden tackled well from Rochelle. It'll be a stoppage inside the forward 50. Here for the Crows. Bit of a wrestle down here. It's Rochelle and Iden. Who's a better goal kicker? Kerno or Jezza? Or I'd probably go with Jeremy Cameron. If I had to bet on my life, I'd probably say Jeremy. Gets out the back hinge, tries to shake off Lloyd. Did well with the pressure. He sends it inside the forward 50. Ward reads it well. Cop of the arms against Rankin, wasn't paid. Sloan handles it over the top. Pressure here for the Giants. Gets it to Himmelberg, who's got some time, and just thumps it out of the defensive 50. Towards Toby Green! Oh my God! He got up! Just couldn't bring it down. That would have been mark of the year. Jones tackled well there from Lloyd. And it'll be another stoppage. That would have been mark of the year if Toby Green ripped that down. Oh yeah, just pay the mark. I agree with you. If they just pay it. It was nowhere near a mark, but just pay it anyway, just for the theatre. Briggs did well. That was 100% a throw. And it was paid. Free kick to Laird. Play onto the call. Back to Brodie Smith. He thumps it inside the forward 50. 2-on-2 here for the Crows. Thilthorpe goes up. Couldn't bring it with him. Out the back is Rankin from the pocket. Swings it inside. It's going to go to McHenry. He just couldn't get near it. Fay in his second game, full game, couldn't get it. Reads it well. Angwin to Ash. Now Fay. He's got some space. Just dribbles it down defensive 50. It's going to be a turnover. Free kick downfield, it looks like. It will go to the Giants. Jezza is better. You made the right decision. Oh, thank God. So Fay gets the free kick downfield. It was a free kick against Thilthorpe for a trip. Back towards the wing. Going up there was Butts. Did well down to Michael Annie. Doesn't have really much space to work to, so gives it back to Dawson. Dawson on the right boot. Sends a high ball. Get it up there. Whitfield couldn't bring it down. Taps it well to Cornelio, who ducked into that one, didn't get the free kick though. Sloan did well. Great work there from Ward. Taps it away from the Crows. He kicks it down the wing. Great kick to Riccardi. They've got some space here, the Giants. Doesn't have an option though, Riccardi. So eventually he wheels around to the right boot. Sends it long to the 1-on-1. The lead of Hogan. Great mark. Another point to the Cats. They just stretch that lead out a little bit, guys. It's going to be a close one in that one. So a chance here for Jesse Hogan. 3 points the difference. Courtesy of the Crows. But the Giants have kicked the only 2 goals of this fourth quarter. He sends it over the top to Toby Green. Don't know about that option. In the pocket is Toby. Snaps it over the top of his head. I don't know about that option. Kicks it on the full. Crows fans love that. Toby Green probably shouldn't have been leading for that one. Don't lead for it, but probably didn't need to kick it to him. Wrong decision from Jesse Hogan. Anyway, Michael Annie kicks it out of defensive 50. O'Brien in a 1-on-1 gets pushed under it. We'll go to Ash. He plays on, but doesn't really have an option to go to. So he gives it off to Whitfield, the 200 gamer, with a blistering kick inside the forward 50. Finds Jesse Hogan, and he'll definitely go back this time. Who's a better kick, Green or Tex? Ooh, outside, probably Taylor Walker. He gives it off to Himmelberg, playing in defence now. Launches from 50 and nails it. The Giants are in front. Harry Himmelberg launches a bomb. Still got those forward attributes, this guy. Great finish from Harry Himmelberg. Giants take the lead. Matthew Nix looks for some answers. Yippee, Skippy. Fuck, I'm a moron. The Giants are on fire at the moment. Usually that does not work. When you give a handball backwards, who's better? Oh. Around the ground, I'd probably say Jeremy Cameron. Inside forward 50, I'd probably give it to Taylor Walker. Still heaps of time in this one, though. You wouldn't count out the Crows just yet. But they've silenced the crowdy of the Giants. They've kicked 3 straight goals in a row. Back in the middle. Bryon's got it to the ruck. Went up, didn't touch the ball. O'Brien gets the clearance. Sends a high ball towards 50. Great mark there from Isaac Cumming. Reads that brilliantly. He works it out wide to Iden, who takes the mark. We're all just going to say yippee skippy. I said it like it's a joke before, and you guys just love it for some reason. I don't know why, but anyway. Now Iden drives the ball down the wing to a 2-on-1. Murray ran over it, then probably took the mark. There was Butts, but he gave it off. Laird handles it forward. Faye does well to get in control of that football. Dragged down for Murray, be a stoppage on the wing. Still over 10 minutes to go. Bombers just scored it behind. They're right back in this one. Nicky Dacos isn't better. The GOAT is either Jordan Agoy or Tim Taranto. Oh, I don't know about that. Getting forward now, Rankin tries to paddle it to himself. Couldn't bring it with him. Pedler keeps his feet, but then Brett's dragged down by Cornelio. That's holding the footy. Great tackle there from Cornelio. He was running full tilt, Luke Pedler, and he got dragged down by the wall. Great tackle, great play, great game of footy. Why were we watching the other game, guys? This is all your fault. Full time in the other game. Bombers are about to come back, but unfortunately for the theatre watchers out there, Bombers just couldn't bring it back. Anyway, free kick will go to ball will go to the Giants on the wing. He's got the ball now. Was Callum Brown. He sends the ball towards the forward 50. Toby Green tries to get the front spot, gets out the back. He just fell over at the crucial stage, but then tripped over his opponent. Angwin just runs it out of bounds. Stoppage inside the forward 50 here for the Giants. What does that mean? YouTube to boundary riders. Nathan, watch the Adelaide game from the start and it's been insane. Good. I appreciate you, man, but I haven't. I've been watching that fucking other game. I've gone on this game now. Cornelio now. Works it, long ball inside the forward 50 towards the goal square. Nick Murray goes back with the flight. Good mark. Works in short to Brodie Smith. The Crows just need to calm down a little bit here. We are Geelong, the greatest team of all. Good win. I thought the Bombers were coming, guys. I thought for sure. Sends a long ball towards the wing. Push to that one. There was Taylor. Gets a free kick for his troubles as well. I'm going to sing the cat song. Oh, let us fly high from dawn to dark down at Cardinia Park. Gets out the back, forward stoppage here for the Crows. Good tackle there for Bedford. Can't get rid of it. Be another ball up. Our banners fly high. Is that the song? Oh, fucking idiot. I don't even know. Taylor Walker's on the bench right now. Still 8 minutes to go. Heaps of time for the Crows right now. Taps it down there, Brown. Hinge gets tackled well. Hogan gets it out to Faye. He kicked a big goal in his first real game. He thumps a high ball, but it goes out on the full. The Adelaide fella with the mullet got reported for a strike earlier. Didn't know his name. I'm new to the sport. Oh, okay. Mullet. Ugh. If you see him again, let me know the number. I'll point it out. Taylor can't get rid of it. Dragged down Fogarty. Did well. Kelly gets the ball up. So still 3 minutes to go. 3 points the difference. O'Brien wins it down towards McHenry. Being on the stoppage though. It's just outside the forward 50 for the Giants. Nathan Edwards just called me a young fella. I'm only 25, man. I'm pushing 30. I'm pushing middle age. I don't know if he was talking about me, but anyway. Callum Brown's had to take the ruck duties for the past few moments. Wins it down, though. Coming through there was Bedford. Got the hands free nicely. Now Cornelio dribbles it towards forward 50. Hogan let it go out the back. Great pressure here from the Giants. He works that towards the boundary line. Should be a ball in. Not Adelaide Oval. They're going to get a free kick. The mullet fella kept losing his cool. Oh, I think you meant Josh Rochelle. Is that right? I think it's Josh Rochelle. Umpire throws it in just inside the forward 50 for the Giants. Gets it down there, O'Brien, straight down to Kelly. Probably through that. Hinge, back to Jones, who sends it outside the defensive 50. Up goes Himmelberg, couldn't bring it down, and now the Crows can go. Dragged down again, Pedler from Cornelio. He's been brilliant in this last quarter. Now the Giants can go. Faye sends it inside the forward 50. Can't mark it on the ground there, Brown. He thumps it off the ground, didn't really do well. Jones to Laird, out the back. Towards Hinge, he works it in short. Good kick, finds Smith. They're under all sorts of pressure, the Crows, but one goal will get them back in front. Sends it out towards the wing. Great spoil there from Riccardi on Butts. He does well in the one-on-one. This is a big contest for both players. Butts, some reason, left it inside. I don't know about that option. Ware got a high one. Should have been a free kick. Play on. Perryman to Riccardi. Sends it back. A little bit of a deep breath. Cornelio takes the mark. So they take a deep breath. Still 6.5 minutes to go. The Giants have the lead. And have been brilliant, but there's still so much time to go. Himmelberg at half back. Taking a deep breath. Walker back on the ground here for the Crows. He sends in the high ball towards the wing. Not the best kick. Couldn't mark it. There was Worrell. Great pressure there from Briggs. He just gets the kick away. Angwin handles it forward a good 20 metres. They got the players here. Lloyd from 40. He sets it up now towards the cross goal. Faye is there. Can't take the mark on the ground. Faye has a chance. Dribbles it home. What a goal! Giants take a 9-point lead. They're going to be hard to beat now, the Giants. This kid's got a bit of spark about him. He kicked the goal against the Tigers a couple of weeks ago when they thought they won it. Let's hope for the Giants fans that's not the same case. That was a great finish. Jones did everything he could. He just couldn't get there, and Faye dribbled it home. And to the silence of the Adelaide Oval, Faye kicks the goal. Yippee Skippy. Four goals in this last quarter to the Giants have split this game right open. Still heaps of time to go. He said the words, guys. He said it. He said it. Fuck. Matthew Nix really not impressed at the moment. Crows have been given a massive blow in this last quarter. There's still time. O'Brien wins it down. Coming through was Ash. Just gets the handball out towards no one in particular. Whitfield can't gather it. McHenry does well. Laird did well, but then got tackled by Whitfield. Just got the hands free to O'Brien, who sends the ball inside the forward 50. Great read from Taylor. What a player this guy is, Sam Taylor. Great mark in the defensive 50 on Taylor Walker. He sends the ball down the wing. It's a really hard kick here for Bedford. Pushed out well there from Smith and then left the ball behind. Goes out of bounds on the outside of the wing. 5 minutes, 22 seconds to go. Still heaps of time to go. Probably could have got it in the back free, but it wasn't paid. Back in the ruck. O'Brien taps it out the back to Brodie Smith, who did a little dance step, then gets it forward. Towards the 50. Taylor gets back, does well. Gets the handball away to Iden. He left it behind Faye. Just got the hands free, but then straight to McHenry. He handballs it forward to space. Gives his teammates an opportunity, Buckley. Broken there by Rankin. Snaps on goal. Oh, hits the post. This game's had everything in the last quarter that I've been watching. So plenty of time here. Himmelberg takes the kick-in duties. Don't know about the handball, but he gives it off to Whitfield, who's got some space on 50. Defensive 50, good kick. Should be a mark. It was to Kelly. Dawson puts on the pressure, but he didn't get it. This is for a 5th win in a row for the Giants if they win this one tonight. And they'll get themselves in the 8, I believe, if they win it. Now Kelly sends the ball towards the wing. It's a huge pack of players. Gets out the back. Brown just couldn't get rid of it. Did well. There the Crows. Butts out the back to Smith. He works the kick inside. It's a poor one, though. Great cut off there from Whitfield. Can you say the time real quick so I can sync it up to my stream for you with your commentary? Okay. 4:15 basically now. Works it out wide there. Iden to find Buckley. 4 minutes and 5 seconds now. So now Buckley works the long ball out towards a huge pack of players. Murray did okay. Now Jones in front. Oh, he threw that away. Cornelio looking for the handball. He does in the end. They're working forward through Bedford. Bedford wants to give it off to Faye. He's been good since he came on. Works it inside the forward 50. Hinge didn't mark it. Green on the ground. Couldn't get rid of it. Now Lloyd fumbled it. Probably to his luck, but then he sat on it. He could be in trouble. Umpire circles, but eventually will ball it up inside the forward 50 for the Giants. All good, Nate. Appreciate you being here to watch the actual good game of the night. Still 3.5 minutes. Still pretty much a lot of time for both clubs. Working it forward, here's Kelly. Couldn't gather it. Trickles towards the boundary line. McHenry gathers it. The Crows have got to go here. Laird did well to just pull that handball in. But gives it back to McHenry. Dragged down from Cornelio. Did well. Laird, good spin move. Works it out wide. Now Murphy has some space. Works it inside to Keys. Great pressure from Whitfield. But it goes to Fogarty, who ducks out of a tackle. Weaves so well. Works it out wide to Rankin. The Crows got a little bit of overlap here. Keys breaks 70 metres. He kicks it inside the forward 52. Oh, and he's over for Shelley, but he missed him. On the full from Ben Keys, and that was the chance. Ben Keys, a little right smile, but that could have been the moment for the Crows. He didn't have a right foot there, Ben Keys, to wheel that one in. Had to kick on the outside of his left boot, just couldn't do it. Sends the ball long, probably got a push there. Hogan didn't get it. Briggs thumps it forward. Great work from Green, just couldn't bring it with him. Laird works it out the back to Worrell. Steps well back to Laird. Now Dawson handballs it to the bounce on Hinge. He works it inside. It's a dangerous option though. Himmelberg probably should have marked it. Does well there. Lloyd drags it under. Now gets the little kick away. Miller did well. Gives it off to Worrell. Inside the middle of the ground. He thumps it inside the forward 50. Murphy's at the back. They spoiled each other. Murphy and Rankin, they had to talk that one through. Now Whitfield gets it out of defensive 50. It bounces and actually stays in bounds. Well done there from Jesse Hogan. Kept it in. Kicks it in short and finds Bedford. The Giants got a little bit of overlap here. They could kill this game right now. Over the top to Lloyd. He's got a couple of options. He kicks the ball inside with an absolute floater and Butts cuts it off. Heart in the mouth kind of stuff at the moment. Butts takes the mark. Gives it off to Scholl. He doesn't have too many options. He's going to get pressured up by Brown. He's running backwards. He's in under a lot of pressure. Drags him down. Great pressure from the Giants. Now Angwin has the ball. Works it inside. Gives it off to Lloyd. Brown's on the ground. He can't get the ball away. He's handled it towards the boundary line. Be interesting what the umpire does here. Be a throw in. Brown's on the ground. He was all on his own. That's really unfortunate there for the Giants because if Brown was able to get up, they would have been away to an open goal, but he's really seriously injured here, Callum Brown. Still 1 minute and 53 seconds to go. They just had to talk there up forward, the Crows. Rankin and Murphy, if one of them talk, they take a mark and they have a shot at goal. Both of them looking for the highlight instead of thinking about the team, it almost looks like there. Callum Brown gets up now. He's up with a bit of a limp, but he seems okay. Briggs thumps it forward here with the ruck. That's a great decision from Ruckman. It goes out of bounds. Umpire stands there, happy to reel it back in. That's a great decision from the umpire. It's a great decision from Briggs, because the umpires never pay that as deliberate. Just thump it forward like 20, 30 metres and get it out of bounds again. It's the most deliberate act you can really do that's legally now, except for maybe a spoil in a marking contest. Umpire wrenches it in. O'Brien wins it down. Can't gather it though. Scholl just gets the kick away. Briggs can't gather it. Lloyd can't get the handball free to anyone in particular. Now the Crows can go. Jones into Scholl. He sends a high ball towards the wing. He just kicks it to space and makes them go for it. First to get there will be Pedley. Just fumbled it though. And now Whitfield has the chance. He turns around, kicks it short. Good kick. That could be 50. Wasn't paid to Toby Green. He played for the 50. He's done that in his career. Didn't get it there though. Just over a minute to go. The Giants are almost home. What a last quarter this has been from the Giants. He sends it inside the forward 50 from the GW for the Giants to go at it. Dawson cuts it off. The Crows have got one more chance and they've got to go. Dawson plays on. He played on out of bounds. It's a little bit lucky. He kicks it inside the middle of the ground. It's a dangerous kick. Can't mark it. On the ground nicely. It was Taylor. Kept it in front of him. Ash. Over to Toby Green. Thumps it forward. In the marking contest all on his own was Daniel Lloyd. And the Giants are going to pull off an unbelievable victory. What a game of footy this has been. The Giants are going to come out of Adelaide Oval with a massive win to get themselves in the 8. I believe they're in the 8 if they win this tonight. No, they're just outside the 8 on percentage. So the Bombers supporters can breathe a sigh of relief. 24 seconds to go. The time will run out for the Crows. Lloyd comes in straight in front and drills it home. The Giants have won an unbelievable victory at Adelaide Oval tonight. What a win from the GWS Giants. Adam Kingsley's loving it on the bench. You wouldn't know it if you looked at his face, but he's kicked the goal. And the Giants have absolutely blitzed the Crows in this final quarter. They've kicked 5 goals in this final quarter. The Crows only 1 behind. And they've stolen this victory when they had no hope at three-quarter time. "14 seconds to go. The Giants are going to win this one. The crowd has started to leave here at Adelaide Oval. The Crows fans would not be impressed with this last quarter from Adelaide. And they really go back to the pack now. O'Brien wins it down, going down to Kelly. Can't get rid of it. Now Ash tackled well from Laird. Another stoppage. Giants are going to sing this song loud and proud tonight. On Lockie Whitfield's 200th game, the Giants have come to the mountain of Adelaide Oval and have conquered it. In what style? The Giants win in a massive victory for the club. What a moment for the Giants. What a massive win. Led by their captain and Toby Green. The Giants have won an absolute thriller at Adelaide Oval. The final scores 10-11-71 to the Giants with a massive final quarter comeback of 1 against the Crows 8-9-57. What a massive win for the Giants. They currently sit just outside the 8 on percentage. But they won't care about that tonight. All they wanted to do was come here and conquer a massive victory against the Crows. And by God have they done that in spades. What a win for the GWS Giants. I think Adam Kingsley may even crack a smile tonight. What a win. So that's 2 times this year that the Giants have actually came back against the Crows and won. So maybe the Crows fall right back to the pack now. They sit on 32 points. They could have taken the top 8 spot from Geelong. From Geelong, would it be? No, it wouldn't be Geelong. No, would have been Essendon if they won tonight. But they lose and they fall back right back to 11th and right in the pack. These final 8 spots are really going to be in trouble in the next few weeks. What do I need to read? Yippee, Skippy. What the fuck are you doing, Adam Kingsley? Get out there and celebrate, you fucking Christ. I'm not even a Giants supporter and I thought that was a massive win. Love this sport. It's such a mad sport. Where do you come from, Nathan? He said it, guys. He said it. Fucking Christ. Oh, you come from Dublin. Oh, that's really cool, man. I like watching your sport too. I love when we played Ireland in the international rules games. They were really good. Yeah, it's a really good sport. I really like when other people see the sport because I know it's not very well known outside of Australia, but it is a great. I think I think it's the best sport in the world. I know, obviously, I'm a bit biased, but I think it is. But nonetheless, look, guys, that will be the end of the stream for tonight. Thanks for watching today. Hopefully, you guys subscribe if you enjoyed the stream. Videos, probably 2 or 3 videos are out every week. Podcast out every Monday or Tuesday, depending on when I'm able to get it out. But yeah, thanks for watching today, guys. Hopefully, your team wins this weekend if they haven't played already, or hope they did win this weekend. If they didn't, my team did, so I'm pretty happy. But nonetheless, guys, massive win from the Giants against the Crows, and the Cats beat the Bombers on Saturday night. But yeah, thanks for watching, guys, and I'll catch you